Do you know what? Stubbing your toe is the most painful thing you can do outside of stepping on a Lego piece. Yo, how's it going, folks? It's been a while. And yes, my toe really hurts. $11 Mate, I was dying with COVID. Leave me alone. Hey, the stream started the moment it said going live. I can never win with Steve. Oh, that still hurts like a... Yeah. So, how's it going, folks? Did you miss me? Did me being away all this time? I mean, I still haven't fully recovered, but I'm getting there. Hey, Paul, what's the great news? All you're hearing is excuses. Yo, Steve, I see how you're staying quiet. Tell everyone how I 1v1'd you on Gears. Gears 2 in particular, the one that you're strong at. I wall bounced you out of the arena. Go on, tell everyone. You didn't think I was not going to actually bring this up, did you? Our exclusive 1v1 to determine who's the victor. Paul, I'm good. Work is hell, but I'm good. I'm just happy to be able to come back to stream. I'm hoping over the next maybe 5 days I can deliver some great news, but we'll see how that turns out. I don't want to jinx it, so I'll leave it at that. So, might have some good news. Mo, why not? Why would you limit yourself to one platform? I mean, don't get me wrong, I totally understand if you can't afford it, but there are good games on all platforms, dude. You know my stance. I always buy all platforms, so I don't ever get limited. Although I do think the least played platform for me has to be the Switch. But the Slim is a good choice. Hey, Arthur, how's it going? See, Devin believes me, and that's where it's at. Bags, it wouldn't sell. It wouldn't sell. No one would play it. You know, that's actually one of the topics. I was actually thinking of making a video about this, and maybe I'll talk about it here and get people online, and if they want to share their sentiments about it at some point when we talk about it. But I wanted to talk about gaming today and how it's changed, and you know, creativity has gone out the door. All people expect is the same thing. But let's leave that for a little bit later in the show, and we can get people onto the show as well to, you know, give their points. I think that's actually a good segue, and then I'll just rip that and post it live, as long as you don't mind your voice being on there. Big Bad Mo, as an Xbox gamer, honestly, for you, for now, nothing. What happens in the future is going to be very telling. Right now, though, absolutely nothing. I sense a bit of passive aggressiveness there. Was there something wrong with the title to what I put out? Wait, who made a channel? Ah, I see. Oh, fun times. I mean, right now, Xbox is changing, are they not? They are changing from what they were to what they are becoming. Wipeout XL. The Simulator XL. Anti-gravity. Oh shit! There's actually. Oh no! There's actually a Wipeout clone on Xbox. No way! Oh no! There's actually a Wipeout clone on Xbox. This is actually quite hilarious. Anti-gravity racing Wipeout XL. I mean, they even picked the name. Is there an actual video of this? No. Oh, there is. Let's check it out. This is fun. They literally just took Wipeout and ripped it. No way. Oh no. I might just buy this for the lulz. This is Wipeout in its entirety. There you go, Bags. You wanted Wipeout. There you go. Yeah, I've cut out the music because I don't want to get demonetized. YouTube has gotten very, very bad with that. But this is funny. This is crazy, man. They've even got the same power ups. Oh no, this is literally a 1-to-1 copy. Oh man. This is kind of cool. Paul, this was a good find. Oh, they've even got the debug mode to actually. This is this the actual PlayStation? No, it's not because it's got slight differences for the UI. But they pretty much just redone everything. That's interesting. That's quite funny. Even the end screen is the same. And you can play it for $14.99. It is a, I assume, play anywhere. Wait, you can actually use the HoloLens on this? Oh, that would actually be quite sick. You know, I always wanted the HoloLens. I used it once and fell in love with it. They brought it to work one time, and we were able to play a few games on there while they were demoing it to us. Really, really cool tech. It's a shame that they couldn't actually mass produce it. The HoloLens was really damn cool as an AR glasses. F-Zero is another great game. Paul, you got a new job. Oh man, that is awesome. That is fantastic news, Paul. I'm happy for you, dude. Really am. It seems that your luck is changing ever by the day. Good news just keeps on propping up for you. I hope it continues throughout the rest of your years, man. That's pretty funny. I've actually been on an indies spree lately. Just there's an indie sale going on Xbox at the moment, so I've been buying a few indie games here and there. I picked up After Image, and that's a pretty cool Metroidvania style game. Really cool. Picked up an RPG called Light Fairy Tale. Trying that out. It's like £2 at the moment. And so far, it's actually not bad. Will I stream Assassin's Creed Shadows? Not sure. I know I'm going to play it, but we'll see. I definitely want to, if I find the time, I'm definitely going to want to stream it. John, I has all the skills. You just don't know it yet. Avowed, I'm going to probably stream, but I'm not getting early access. I am not streaming the Veilguard. Did you know that Dragon Age the Veilguard is not an option in the list for YouTube games? They took it out. Did you know that? When you go down the list for Dragon Age the Veilguard, it's not there. That was... I mean, come on, that's a bit petty. Come on. When who talks? Mo? I've already done that, completed it, mate. That's all done and dusted. I streamed it to Oreo. You guys are just sadists. That's what it is. What do you mean, Big Man Mo? I think I've been pretty on point with where they're heading all this time. The only thing I didn't see was how rapidly they were going to go full steam ahead with releasing everything on PlayStation. I didn't see that coming because they've opened the floodgates now, announcing pretty much a new game every other day. But outside of that, I think I've been pretty good with what they've been doing. Mate, I went to buy that and then saw what it looked like and said, yeah, it's okay. Oh, the new job is writing music for... Nice, that's cool, Paul. perfect for what you want. Bring back those last ninja spirits. That's what we need. I do miss the Commodore 64 games. Although I do remember games like Track and Field and Run the Gauntlet used to be joystick breakers. Yeah. The amount of joysticks we went through was crazy. Paul, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's really weird, Leaf. Every time I bring Oreo to the camera, he freaks out. It's like he knows he's on camera. But what I will do is take some pictures and post it on Discord. I'll post a number more pictures because he does do some dumb things every once in a while. Who's getting bent, Mo? No, the original Ninja Gaiden Black is on sale right now. In the UK, it's, I think, £4.50. I'll bring it up on screen. I think it's like $5 in America. I think it's like £4.50 here. Yeah, it is. Well, you'd see it if my big head wasn't in the way. Ninja Gaiden Black, £4.50 for the next 2 days. So if you're interested, I mean, the difference between this and Sigma in terms of visual display is pretty impressive. They did a good job. They just decided to censor everything and ruin the experience. But yeah, it's £4.59 if for those interested. Ninja Gaiden? No. Apparently not, because I'm logged in and it's not coming up as Game Pass. Byron. My dude was playing Division tactical shooter, Tom Clancy's military. Oh man, I can't believe how J-Tech was playing that game. That's ridiculous. You don't do that, man. Come on. You don't do that. Not on Doom. Then I saw someone else trying to teach him how to play it and they looked even worse. Man, people never change. They did not, Bags. They did not. That was all fake. All fake news. They went off how many people reviewed the game. Yeah, because that's a metric on how many people are playing the game, right? That's what Icon Era went off. How many people reviewed the game. More people on PlayStation reviewed it than those on Xbox. See, while the Xbox gamers were busy playing, the PlayStation gamers were too busy playing Twitter. Achievements, maybe. But there were more people playing it on Game Pass. God knows how many people actually continued playing it, but there are more people registered playing. Yeah, Icon Era. I mean, Icon Era is basically just. I mean, when you see their Twitter feed, it's literally like a news feed that someone posts something, and if it gets enough upvotes, it gets pushed over to Twitter to share. That's all. I think that's how it works anyway. So it's I wouldn't listen to anything that's coming from there. Yeah, that's what I saw from True Achievements as well. There was way over 30,000. There was, I think it was like 40,000 something when I last saw it. It's a lot. I mean, Big Man Mo, it is a PlayStation forum. I don't think I've ever seen anything positive for Xbox coming from there, outside of fabricated lies. They haven't blocked me yet, gaming, and I've mocked them like there's no tomorrow. 98-inch 100. Damn, that must have set you back a pretty penny, buddy. I think Forza Horizon 5 will outsell Astrobot. I think, see, to me, Astrobot was a real. I enjoyed Astrobot a lot. If you've seen my review, you'll see I enjoyed it. But no one bought it. I mean, I know 1.5 million people are going to say that's a lot, but when you've got, Astro is pretty much Sony's mascot, right? That's who I would say is their mascot now. And as a platform game, for a console base of what, 70 million, only selling 1.5 is pretty awful. This is exclusives as well, by the way. This is their first party games. You expect their first party games to do better. I get the money headed games not doing so well, but it's a thing. People just aren't buying as many games as they used to. I know I'm not. Uh, the economic conditions just make, at $70, you pick and choose what you buy. At $50, it's really weird because it's definitely a psychological thing for me personally. At 50 quid, I just pull the trigger and buy. I'm okay with that. At 60 quid, I'll give it a second thought. At 70 quid, I really have to think about it and say, do I really want to play this now? And, that pricing point, in my opinion, has. I mean, I can't be the only person that's in that kind of bandwagon, so I feel like more than anything, pricing of games is what's hurting the game sales a lot. But also, the actual just overall variety of games. I mean, people want Banjo and Kazooie, right? The creator of Banjo doesn't believe the game will succeed. The composer doesn't believe it will succeed. I personally agree with them. I just don't think in this day and age there's a market for that anymore. People want to see sequels to IPs that they've got because they can trust it. They want to buy games that they are aware of, that they are familiar with, and they want, the absolute best next generation graphics to go with it. And that comes at a cost, a big cost. And I think, in my opinion, creativity is definitely being stifled with the way consumers are consuming games. £45 per game was definitely a nice price point. Even $49.99 I think was fine. The moment it started to exceed that, I think it started to get a little bit silly. But you know what? Since we're talking about this, let me get the invite. If anyone actually has a thought on this, feel free to jump in. Let me know what you think. Hey, Powerboss, what's up? But let me know what you think, because I think that how we used to consume games, 5-10 years ago, is so different to how it is now based on things. And I know people are going to bring up, inflation and all of this, but at the same time, you know, we were. I feel like 5 years ago, I had more disposable income than I do today. And that affects your overall spending. So even if inflation is a thing, at the time, I just don't see it being the same as it is now. Sure, cartridges back in the day were really expensive, but when we're looking at the prices once discs got introduced, I don't know, something just went wrong. And as gamers, as we've continued to develop and evolve, we've gotten way more picky with what we want to play and what we want to experience. And that's why recently I've jumped into a lot of indie games and checking those out, because I feel like the indie games, and I'm playing a lot of free-to-play games as well at the moment, and I'm getting a ton of enjoyment out of them. Between the indie games and the free-to-play games, I'm finding, do I really need to go and spend $70 on a game that could be good? Or do I wait for a sale at $30 and then pick it up? At the moment, I am playing a game called Afterimage, which is... let me bring it up. If this ever works. Guess I need to refresh this. Accessibility fail. Wow, it's not going to actually give me the option to remove the thing? No way. Let's try that again. Nope. Let me go and find it somewhere else. Not even any controls for it. Silly. Is this it? Yeah. Let's put the volume down. So this is not what I want to show. So this is the one I'm playing at the moment. It's pretty much like a Metroidvania style game, and it's good fun. It's pretty much what you expect. You've got your power-ups and stuff, and I think right now on Xbox it's like £6. So this is one of the ones that I picked up that I've been playing, and I've been having a lot of fun with it. I have not played Blasphemous 1 and 2, no. But yeah, so I've spent more time playing like indie games and free-to-play games than I have pretty much anything else. Outside of Indiana Jones, I think I spent like almost, 70 hours on that game. That is such a good game. But yeah, if you like your Metroidvanias, maybe this is going to be one that you want to check out. That's the other thing, right, folks? You know, when you're looking at games that are bloated for the bags, I 100%ed the game. I done everything possible in the game, everything. Collected every collectible, did every side quest, everything. The base game is about what 15, 20 hours, but then there's a metric ton of side quests, and the side quests are really good in the game because they give you a lot of background information on, you know, the overall plot of the game, and there's also like Easter eggs in there for the movie. So if you're an Indiana Jones fan, you'll absolutely love going through some of that stuff because it delves into some of the stuff that happened, you know, in the timeline in the past from where the game is set. Oh, I will definitely check it out, Paul. Definitely Indiana Jones, 100%. I'm really hoping that they take it and turn it into a massive franchise. It's a really good game. You know, if you haven't checked out my review, do check it out. Again, I give a score on the game based on whether you're an Indiana Jones fan because I think it matters overall. And if you're not an Indiana Jones fan and you're just looking at something that's an adventure game, you know, the way I did Astrobot. All I know is that there's going to be DLC because if you collect all the relics in the game, you can open up the mural wall, and then that basically shows you a secret ending. Yeah, that is a thing with PlayStation. Unfortunately, they don't register numbers as shipped. So as soon as it leaves their warehouse and it goes to a store, to them that is a console sold. But I think it was VGC who reported that 25% of PlayStation 5s hadn't even been activated yet. That's a lot, right? That's a lot. 25% is crazy numbers. You know, I left that part out, honestly. I didn't think it would add any value to the review. And you still didn't tell me, by the way, how you worked it out, so I couldn't really put it in there. That's a good question, because if you look at this, right? Where did I see it? Is the music too loud, folks? Let me know if the music is too loud. I've quietened it down a little bit. But where is it? Where are you? Got a bunch of stuff here. So Xbox ID is doing something, right? I mean, there is music. I think I made it too quiet now. Wait, what happened to the music? There, it's back again. But yeah, so this is the Xbox ID, and they snuck in Miles Morales from the Spider-Verse into it. Could there be a game through Xbox ID coming for Spider-Man for Xbox, or is IGN just trolling? Are you guys sure you can't hear a thing? I can see it triggering. I can hear it quite loudly. There is music, okay. You think it's just the IGN intro? I don't know. Apparently, based on what I'm seeing, everyone's gone proper crazy. Yeah, Diablo Mozart in the chat. I don't think he's here tonight, but he's the one that actually wrote this score. I don't know, Bags. This is all we've seen. It was in the opening Xbox ID promotional video. Maybe it's supposed to be some kind of thing. Surprise. Down you go. So that's where he is there. And you said watch it at the end. Yeah, it's a different outro. But I guess we're going to check this out anyway on the 28th of February, I think it is. So that's kind of cool. Diablo playing Doom 64. But yeah, Diablo's the one that made this music and gave it to me. $24th. Byron. That would be hilarious. But honestly, how long is the Spider-Man exclusivity on PlayStation? Does anyone actually know? The PSN requirement was always stupid. I don't know why Sony decided that they would go over it. Honestly though, not, being full transparent, I thought the community would have caved. But they didn't. I thought they would have caved, but the PC breed is a whole different beast, man. They get what they want every time. Sony do not own Spider-Man. No, they own them. They own the movie rights, but even that is with a caveat. They need to release a movie every, I think it's 3 or 5 years, and if they don't, then the rights to Spider-Man the movie go back to Marvel. Hey, David. Oh, I see. Hey, I totally didn't even see him waving there. Let me do that. Hey, Powerboss. Not too bad, mate. Not too bad. How's it going? How have you been? What's your thoughts on the whole gaming landscape in terms of people spending their money, people playing what they're familiar with, spending, choosing more carefully to spend what they spend with games now getting 70 to $100? You can't hear him? Wait, why can't they hear you? Hmm, that's strange. Let me have a look. No, they can't. I can see that it's not coming through. I'm just trying to see why. I think I figured out. Give me a second. I think I figured out why that's happened. Where are you?
Some people are saying I'm very loud.
No, they can hear now. So,
All right, Steve, you can shut it.
Nvidia updated their new broadcast app. If for those that are using it, they released a new version of it, and I didn't realize that screwed up with OBS for desktop audio. And because I use window audio for all my games, it just slipped by.
So I was saying the fact that you can get cheaper games is better for the consumer. The only thing that games costing so much is better for the corporation, the people publishing the games that get the money when you buy them, whatever platform you pay for them on. So being able to offset the price of the game for DLC or add-ons and additives, cosmetics, and things like that, it's better to have the games cheaper and
And
have
sell more.
microtransactions to sell more than to have an upfront cost of a higher game, especially when the games that we're getting aren't at quality. It didn't start until Starfield, and people were complaining about that. But You look at games like Black Ops 6, Indiana Jones, the games are starting to get there. So the cheaper the games are, the more you're likely to invest into it. And we know from Indiana Jones that it's already hit 4 million players, however many people bought it.
See, that's an interesting topic with Indiana Jones, right? I know a lot of people are looking at that 4 million and turning around and saying, well, a big game like that, big franchise, which in my opinion, it's, if you're comparing it to the likes of Star Wars or Spider-Man, I don't think it is anywhere near those. It's a cult classic, and, it's clearly aimed at, nerds and oldies like me, as opposed to my kids who looked at Indiana Jones and said, who the fuck is he? And then they walked away. It wasn't until he actually saw me playing it and saw the game was actually pretty good that he decided that he wanted to play it. But as, Indiana Jones, it meant absolutely nothing to my kids because they didn't know who Indy was. It's one of those things. They didn't grow up with Indiana Jones. So there's that. But I think the biggest mistake that Xbox did is the one that Horizon did not once, but twice. They released it in line at the same time as Path of Exiles. That's game over. Path of Exiles was... I mean, people are saying 4 million players is... I mean, I personally was expecting more. That's me personally. People are saying it was a failure. I don't think it was a failure personally. But if it didn't release at the same time as Path of Exiles, where everyone was playing Path of Exiles, I do believe that it would have hit a higher number. But Path of Exiles stole the show. You remember how Horizon Forbidden West said, I'm going to challenge Elden Ring. There's no way Elden Ring can take the game spotlight off me. And then 2 seconds later, everyone is playing Elden Ring and no one is playing Horizon. Lessons should be learned there. Obviously, Horizon learned no lessons from that. But lessons should be learned. And I just think the timing of Indiana Jones's release was very, very unfortunate to land at the same time, because the PC crowd in general rushed over to Path of Exiles. That game blew up. But if that wasn't there, a lot of those would have jumped onto Indiana Jones, and it would have been way more successful than it was.
I agree. I mean, I have Path of Exile 2 as well, and I can even say it's a phenomenal game. It's literally taken over the PC crowd for quite a bit.
Oh yeah, it took over like crazy. And, it is what it is. I mean, I bought the collector's edition for Indiana Jones, Like I said, I'm a huge fan of Indy. I love Indy. Like, this game was like just pure joy for me from start to finish. I absolutely loved every moment of it. I really like the collector's edition. It's really cool. The globe is awesome. And once I move, I'll have everything set up, and maybe I'll do a video of all my collector's editions and stuff to just show the room, a bit like King David, although I'm nowhere near his level. That guy's buying like a new figurine every other day. That's another thing. But yeah, I mean, I think Indiana Jones just released at the wrong time.
And the same thing can be said for Marvel Rivals. It's free to play, and it has cosmetic microtransactions, but the game is fundamentally done well. So, what are you going to do? You can't really fight that sort of crowd when you have games of that caliber that are coming out with periodic updates that are continuing to improve on everything that the game has across the board.
Well, yeah, I mean, Marvel Rivals basically gave the community what they wanted. They gave them good gameplay, a Marvel IP, attractive characters. What did people want? They pretty much, they gave them the complete package, and then when things went wrong, which they did, they fixed them quite quickly.
Yeah, what's the
Oh,
chat
Jesse, that
saying
is
here?
that's a burn. See, here's my opinion on Horizon. Zero Dawn was a great game. Forbidden West was a very bad game. Burning Shores went back to the original formula and worked. They tried to change Forbidden West to basically be a Ubisoft game, and it didn't work. And the bugs at the start of the launch absolutely murdered that game. So, releasing it alongside Elden Ring wasn't bad enough. The bugs actually. I actually didn't play Forbidden West for about, 8 months? Because it took them 6 months just to get the game in a workable state, in my opinion.
Well, see, the wife loves Horizon, both of them. I played through both. I've beaten both.
Hmm.
The first game was definitely better than the second one as far as story and ingenuity of what the game did. But the second game, the only thing I can think of is the movie Bolt as a comparison.
Because you could fly.
No, because of aliens.
Yeah, I guess so. I just think the story just wasn't as compelling in the second one. I think the overall map design just wasn't as interesting. The point of interest around the map were quite lame. The fact that when you collected stuff on the map and turned your PS5 off and put it back on again, everything reappeared, which was annoying. Especially for someone like me who has OCD for that type of stuff. And, what was his name? What was Lance Reddick's name in that game? What was his name? Silence, I think his name was.
Oh, Silence? Yeah.
So
he was the main protagonist in both of them.
Yeah, but he was way more interesting in the first game than it was the second one. The second one just felt overall just bad. And even, the big twist that happened with one of the characters getting chopped. I didn't care. Like, at that point, I was like, just move on. I was just like, move on, man. I don't care. I just want to move on. I think they ruined it.
What about the announcement that there's possibly 2 PC ports that were canceled?
That is interesting. And has it actually been confirmed that it was? Or is this just rumors?
From what I understand right now, it's just rumors.
To try and appease and maybe even push stock prices up. I don't think PlayStation is backing from PC at all. At the moment, I see... Look, there's a reason why Sony went into live service, right? They went for 12 live service games. They fully well knew that the chances of any of those 12 sticking was small. But they hoped that one out of that 12 would stick. And if it did, then that would pretty much pay off the other 11 that failed. Because as we know, a good live service game is a cash cow. It pretty much milks the community for everything they've got. So now that that is gone, where else are they going to get the money from? Clearly the income coming in from PlayStation alone isn't enough. I mean, they're removing PS4 games off PS Plus, for example, in a bid to get the player base to spend more money so they can make more money. Let that sink in. They're removing PS4 games.
Most of those games, like $10 upgrades, so that you can get the PS5 version.
Yeah. So I mean, even then, like if you get a game on PS Plus, the upgrade doesn't work on the PS Plus version. You can't pay $10 or $15, whatever it is, to upgrade it. You have to go think. PC income might not be as high, but it is still a profit. And that's the point. Spider-Man will have made a profit. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, for everyone laughing at it, made a profit. It was the best-selling PC game.
I brought this up on Porter Rock's show after you were on that one time. I think it was the next Tuesday afterwards. That in order to make a PC port, it cost anywhere between $5,000 to a handful of million, like less than 5 million. And they would only need to sell about 150,000 copies on PC, and then everything else is pure profit, completely.
I mean, even going past that, the bloody things are built on PCs. Right? They're actually built on PCs before they're optimized on the PlayStation SDK. So they've already got the damn thing built anyway. It's all about just optimization at that point.
Not if you go by nib.
I was going to say that, I just didn't want to bring him into it because...
I brought him into it because
I know there's someone watching that's
going
to clip
post
this already, and I've already just had enough of being clipped out of context for one millennia. But, I think right now they need PC. But, Totoki himself said, we're going to be releasing more games on PC and other platforms. This is what he said quoted, right? We are going to release more games on PC and other platforms. So expect it to be on other platforms and PC. But PC is going to be their main drive because that is the one that is right now the biggest growth. But I do think releasing your game 5 years later is not going to get you the yields that you want, right? You need to release your game day and date. If you want the hype, if you want people to buy into the hype, because that's generally when you make your sales go thing.
Well, no, Susano, what I was getting at with the 5K to 5 million and less is the fact that what it's talking about is whether it's an in-house studio or not, how big the game is, and whether it's a AA or AAA game. All that plays into effect of how much the port will actually cost.
Sub E-Ranks. I did, Paul. But Bags, you just answered my question. You just proved my point. You literally just proved my point. So where else is that money coming from? If they didn't need the money to... And, Yuhei Yoshida already told you that the money that they make off these games aren't enough for the AAA first-party games. They need more funding. And that comes through milking their community with remasters and remakes, which he said openly in Gaming Kinda's interview. He said, we are basically milking our community and robbing them of their hard-earned money by releasing remakes and remasters, and they're too stupid to see it, so they're going to consistently buy it. And while they are stupid to consistently buy remasters and remakes, we will continue to milk them for every penny that they've got. This is exactly what Yoshida said, right? Yuhei Yoshida.
Shuhei Yoshida.
And then he turned around and said, but we need more money coming in. And that's where these other ports are going to come. The money has to come from somewhere because they're not selling enough copies. So that money has to come from, the money has to come from somewhere. It's not going to come from thin air, right? And shareholders aren't just going to sit there and say, oh, we are happy with a small margin of profit. No, they're not going to say that. They want a bigger return.
The PS5 is only the most profitable console they made because it is also the most expensive console that they have made.
But is it making a profit anymore?
I don't know.
I mean, they were basically making a tiny bit of profit on it for a little while, and then the silicons went up in price, and then you've never heard them say anything else. No one's really reported on it. But are they even making a profit on it anymore? See, Devin's a true pony right there. Perfect. He's the perfect ideal customer that would get milked. But yeah, at the moment, I don't think any manufacturer is actually maybe Switch. Nintendo always make a profit on their, well, almost always. I think the Wii U was the only one that they were making a loss on. But generally, Nintendo make a profit on all their hardware. But I think they're the only ones now still making a profit off their hardware. I don't think Sony's making a profit. Neither is. Well, we obviously know Microsoft isn't, but that's fine because they subsidize that cost anyway. Like, what's the? They subsidize the console cost through attach rates, right?
See, Paul, the whole thing about the PS3 when it originally came out being 600, because I got one that was 600 as well. Mine's a Gen 1 PS3 that has backwards compatibility in it. They dropped the price, what, $200 when they took it out with Gen 3? And the only thing difference between Gen 1 and Gen 2 was a bigger hard drive internally. Went from a 40 to a 60 gig.
The PS3 was expensive because of the Blu-ray.
That too.
It was the cheapest Blu-ray. I think Blu-ray machines at the time were $1,000, right? They're $1,000, so it was the cheapest Blu-ray you can get. So, you know, that's what sold the PS3 and allowed it to maintain its price point. But even then, if you were smart like me, you got it for like $220 day one from America, imported. The pound was really good back then. Sorry guys, the Euro economy tanked like there was no tomorrow at the time. I imported that. I imported the PSP as well. I saved so much money. I miss those days.
Alright, E-Ranks. Take your cheap shots.
We all know he's a pony, E-Ranks. But we still love him.
I mean, I have my PS5 sitting right over there. I have, what, 2, maybe 3 games that I play on it?
See? True pony.
I mean, I don't buy everything on PlayStation. I prefer my Xbox to my PC.
Consoles. Hey, it was too cheap. The best part about it was that I got away with customs as well. They didn't actually see it as it came in a big, massive electronic box. And I skipped customs as well. That was like a glorious time. So like £220 brand new day one. Pretty much. I think I got it like, what, 3 days after it came out? 4 days? Because it took that a few days to ship from the US. But for $220, that's a pretty good deal. I am not a pony. Why would I be a pony? I mean, look, Xbox has diverged in what they're doing. They've seen that, you know, at the end of the day, Game Pass is, you know, it's not growing at the rate they wanted it to grow. That's a given. The consoles aren't selling as fast as they want. I know a lot of people are saying that Xbox hardware is going to stop. It's not. And should I tell you why Xbox hardware isn't going to stop? Do you know why, Powerboss? Why is Microsoft not going to stop selling Xbox hardware?
Because it's still the cheapest entry to get into their platform if you don't own a PC.
Nope. Because the console itself is pretty much Game Pass. If you own a console,
yep,
you're going to get Game Pass. If you get rid of the console, they are forsaking all of those millions of Game Pass users. And they do not want to do that.
That's true.
Right? So the console, I mean, just through Game Pass on its, the Game Pass existence on its own, guarantees the existence of the console. Because that is how you're going to sell the most subscriptions for your platform. It's really that simple.
Bags is just now learning about the Tin Dog curse, apparently.
The what?
The Tin Dog curse?
He came, wrecked, destroyed. Mate, don't you remember at the moment he went over, the bad luck just started straight away? It started instantly. I think, what was it, like less than a month before he went there and Jim Ryan stepped down? Or, well, booted out, whatever you want to call it. So looking at the theoretical Xboxes, this is pretty much. I don't think they're going to go with the Series S again. I think I know Phil Spencer said that it's taught them a lot, but I think they'll go with the handheld instead of the Series S. I still think that they're going to come with a cloud box. I think they're still going to do it if they can get the price down. But I think these three are going to be what they push out next. This will probably be like a dockable Switch that they can plug in and you can play. But the bottom line is, they need these platforms to sell Game Pass. And as far as I'm concerned, as long as Game Pass exists, I'm happy. Right? As long as I'm getting my games day and date on Game Pass, happy days. So for me, that's what's important. Now, do I believe that the console is going to be a traditional console? Absolutely not. I think it's just going to be a PC with an Xbox overlay. It's going to be a mid-spec PC, roughly priced at around $700. And
well, what about Jason Reynolds' interview where he said that they're going to be seamlessly integrating the next Xbox into Windows?
Yeah, that's
you think that means we get quick resume on PC?
Yes. I mean, they can do if they really wanted to do quick resume on PC, you'd have it right now. If they really wanted to do it, they could do it. It's not a magical thing that only the Xbox can do. If they really wanted to get it working, I mean, they've got direct storage working on PC with DirectX 12, right? So if they really wanted to implement that feature on there, it would be there. But then you need to get the games on PC to actually support it. That's the bigger problem. It's not getting the tech on there. It's getting people to use it. How many games on PC use direct storage? Outside of Forspoken, I don't think I can name any other game that uses it. So the tech is cool.
I'd have to look.
But you need people to adopt it. But the whole unification is just so no matter which one you use, the UI will be the same. But, you know, they've been talking about getting Xbox working on Windows. You know how you've got currently now Android working on Windows 11 in a sandbox, in a virtual machine, virtual instance. That's essentially what I think is going to happen. They're going to get it working in that fashion. And they've been working on it for a while. The last I heard, they got it running, but it just wasn't running great. Performance wasn't good. So it is going to need a metric ton of optimization. And obviously, it's going to need minimum specs and stuff. So, and I think, you know, the next chipsets that are coming along, especially those that are going to be in the next generation Xboxes, probably mostly done through AI. You know, AI is going to be a big thing for those. But I mean, you know, Phil Spencer, when he was asked, what about Steam confirmed? And he just laughed. He didn't deny it because he knows what's coming on the next Xbox is basically just a, almost, I guess, lockdown Windows PC. And you'll be able to install anything you want. Because at this point, Microsoft doesn't care where you actually buy your games. That, you know, they've got to the point. Because Microsoft is really good at software. They just suck at hardware. Surface laptops, the HoloLens, you know, you look at the Windows Phone, they just generally suck at, you know, marketing this stuff and getting it out there and, you know, pushing it out and, you know, making it mainstream. But software,
when they
really
finally
good.
Announce the next platform,
it has to be this year.
Whether it's console or handheld or a cloud box, I'm excited to see if they are going to actually mention anything about sideloading Steam or not.
I don't think
because that is going to bring in so many.
I don't think it's going to be sideloaded.
You think it's going to be integrated?
I think it's going to be integrated. Why wouldn't it be? It's just going to be a PC.
I mean, if it's advanced enough, yeah.
I am going to be genuinely surprised if it's not just your bona fide Windows PC. Obviously, with the Xbox overlay, you'll press something and it will just do the work for you. Right? There'll be a script there. When you press the game that you want, it will just run the installer, just like your current console does now. I mean, that's what your console does right now anyway, right? You put the game in, you download it, and then the script after it downloads it installs it if you want to install it. That's all it is. It's just a script that's running that says do this and then do this. If you've got the Steam launcher open, you buy the game. Microsoft doesn't care at this point. If Microsoft cared where you bought your games, they would keep it exclusive on the Xbox. Right?
I will say this: that tweet that you had, that Porter Rock responded to.
Oh, they got pissed with that one.
No. Here's the funny thing about that. What if, when the next hardware launches, whether it's handheld or console or cloud, and Steam is integrated, the Play Anywhere extends to Steam where you don't have to buy it on Steam?
Well, here's the thing. You're not far off, because Gabe has said publicly that he is open to a Game Pass integration. He said this a few years ago in an interview. You know, he said he likes Xbox, and you know, he's been approached previously, and the conversation has come up about integrating Game Pass into Steam, and he is open to the idea. Obviously, if you, he's going to get, I'm assuming they're going to get some form of a cut for it. That would make sense. But he's open to the idea. He's never said he's not. The only thing is, there's a lot of logistics that's going to go around it, and you know, especially with the save files and stuff, making it work. You know, we've now seen Indiana Jones working on Steam, Xbox, and PC Game Pass in terms of your cross save. I know Fallout 76 does work, but that's a little bit more messy. But it's not mainstream going across the lot.
I think
but once they
Taz
get that,
brings up a good point.
it will be working.
He says he wonder if the new Xbox will be an all digital only then. I think that there's going to be not like a Series X2 and S2, but there is going to be two different like consoles, one with the disk drive, because there are people that do have physical discs, and the backwards compatibility is still a huge feature selling for Xboxes. And unless they have a way that you can take your physical media and actually register it so that you get the digital copy and don't have to worry about the discs, then I still see them launching two SKUs for a console
I disagree.
because of the backwards compatibility.
I disagree. I totally disagree. I think the next Xbox is going to be full digital. And for those of you that want to play your physical games that you've got from your back catalogue, not to parrot Don Matrick, but there's always the Xbox Series X for that, right? I never thought I'd be parroting exactly what he said. But there you go. You've got your Xbox Series X, you can play it on there. But I think the next console is going to be full digital. It makes sense. I do not see... I mean, they're not releasing anything physical now anyway. There's nothing they've got that's physical now. What are they releasing that's physical? My Indiana Jones came with a code, not a physical disc. Paid $200 for it, and it's just a... I mean, it's cool. It's got the artifact and the codes on the back of the relic artifact that you get, one of the 18 pieces. It's really cool.
Well, we do know that they laid off a whole bunch of the division, if not the entire closing division of everything for making physical discs. They're now outsourcing it at the best. So they're not going to be getting a whole huge heap of physical games, if any at all. But I do think they are still going to be around.
I think this generation is going to be the last generation for Sony with physicals as well. I think PS6, they're going to go digital too. They just lose too much money on physical games. Right? Because, and this might be a really bad analogy, but just hear me out, because it works. If you're a corporation, right, Powerboss? Let's say you are Microsoft or Sony. It doesn't matter. Or Nintendo, for that matter. It doesn't matter. Choose your pick. It doesn't matter. If I buy your game at retail value, you are happy. Yes? Because you make money. If I go and buy... Forget buying. If I go and pirate that game, then you're upset because you make no money. You're with me? But if I buy it second hand, how's that any different to me pirating the game? In your eyes? And they lose a lot of money on second-hand games. A lot of money. Not as much as pirating, of course, but they lose. Actually, I'm not even sure, but they lose a lot of money. Where'd you go? Your voice is off.
Hello?
Yeah, you're back now.
Oh, okay. I said you're talking about how people buy physical, sell it back to a retailer, and then secondhand
No,
resell.
I'm just saying. I walk into Computer Exchange, or
and how they make no money. It's basically pirating.
I mean, I'm not saying it's pirating. I'm just saying, as a corporation, what's the difference for you? For the consumer, it's great. I get cheap games. I'm all for it as a consumer, right? I'm saying, as a consumer, I'm all for it because cheap games is good, right? That's why we got Game Pass. So I'm not going to sit here and shit on it. I'm saying, as a corporation, is it in your interest to go full digital or allow secondhand games to be traded around? Sure, you're going to get the exposure, but you're making no money. Either your headset is really busted, or I don't know, but every time you hold your ear, it works. No, it's not working now.
I
Okay,
am
now it's
muting myself
working.
because I have background noise.
Aha.
But no, I disagree with Woodpit saying that. What did you say again?
You should be able to sell digital games. I agree. I agree with that one.
No, before that.
And you know, when Xbox One first got announced, with the whole DRM, Connect, Family Game, Xbox Live stuff, they actually
talking
had
about
a
game
system.
Ownership is stronger when physicals exist also.
Well, I mean, let's be real, right?
Because getting it digitally,
I've got this,
you
right?
can get it immediately.
I know, but I've got this. I've got this. You're not taking this away from me. I've got it. It's mine. And no matter what you do to the console or what you do to the service, I can take my cartridge out and play it. So I get the notion that
for some games,
physical ownership, yeah, those that do have the thing, that's definitely a thing. Like, look at PT, look at Forza Horizon 4. They're gone. They're gone to the annals of history. Those that got rid of it, it's gone, right?
I have PT still.
I did have it, but I had to format my PS4 at the time. Sorry, Taz, when I sent him my PS4. I sent him my PS4 Pro. Formatted it, and PT went with it. Sadness. But I agree, they should allow you to trade in your digital license, and I think that's going to be the next evolution that does happen. You won't get, obviously, as much as you would do previously, but I think that's the next evolution for them. They had it working on Xbox One at the time. So it's a shame that they took it away. Even the Family Game Pass that they had. Like, whatever happened to that? Sorry. I don't know, but all I'm saying is, at some point, physicals are going to go away. Xbox is doing that transition way faster. I mean, they've pretty much...
Oh, absolutely, and PlayStation's just following suit like they always do.
Yeah, but they're going to take a while longer. I mean, I don't expect the PS6 to land until 2830. But I think by that point, you're going to see a massively lower reduction.
See, Bags, you're saying that Stephen Kennedy is saying correct about games like Forza Horizon where they don't want to continue paying licenses, but even in games like Forza Horizon 4, if they take away the licenses and shut down the game, a game like that is an always online game that you still can't play even if you have the physical. That's what I was getting at.
I mean, once the Destiny server shut down, what's your physical gonna do? Serious question. And for the 3 people, well, that's being generous. For the 1 person that bought Suicide Squad, what's your physical gonna do with once the server shut down?
Don't try to skirt around that one, Chaos. You have it too.
I don't have
You got Suicide Squad.
No,
It
I
was
do
gifted
not.
to you. I remember.
Nope. I do not have it. That is the one game I did not bother. I played the beta, and that was enough for me.
You could also get it for free on PS Plus right now.
But like Forza Horizon 4.
Next couple days that it's gonna still be active.
No. Forza Horizon 4. I've got it. I picked it up, and even though it's gone, I've still got it. They won't take it offline. They're just not available to buy anymore. See? Devin's 3 copies of Concord collecting dust. I did not delete it. You bought S Squad for $5 music? For $5 it's not bad. I mean, I've heard it's not too bad of a game if you're playing just a story. I mean, for $5 I guess it's okay.
that writing was horrible.
But for $5 I think it might be okay, but I wasn't willing to burn $5. Yeah, but that's the thing. Once the servers go down, they go down. I mean, look at Gran Turismo 7 when the servers went down. You had 1 track, you had 1 car, and that's it. There was nothing else you could do with it. What's the point?
And see, I think that's even more of a shady deal. So if they do give like an offline, free-to-play, single-player experience on a game like, say Gran Turismo or Forza Horizon, and everything else is required to be online to play any of the other tracks, even if they're the single-player ones, I think that's the bigger travesty. Because then when the servers go down, you go back to offline mode only. And you lose all the access to everything else, even if you paid for things.
No, Steven, I'm talking about Gran Turismo 7. It was a massive thing at the time. But yeah, so I see basically this happening, but they will always need a console. Because the console is what's going to sell Game Pass.
And I also agree with Susano saying that games made more sense physically when we didn't have day 1 patches.
Steven, I think PlayStation was being doxxed at the time or something, and the servers were down for a little while. And that's when the craziness for GT7 got exposed. And I think it lasted for like 3-4 days or maybe a week. Man, those physical space games, Paul, are going to take up a lot of space. Game Pass isn't going anywhere. And honestly, now that games are going to other platforms, I mean, I think where is it? I think I swear I just saw it, yeah.
Bite your tongue at E-Ranks, I have not touched that game.
Age of Mythology Retold has now just been announced for PlayStation 5. I mean, at this point, I expect everything to be announced at some point, especially after Forza 5. But with these games going to other platforms, be it PlayStation or the Switch 2, that pretty much guarantees that you as an Xbox customer are going to get the games day and date on Game Pass as part of your subscription. What it also means is now that Microsoft, even though they do have a platform, they don't really have a platform in terms of a console anymore. That's basically kind of, the term they use, a walled garden. They don't have that anymore. Uh, I reckon you're going to see this year that they're going to be on a shopping spree again to try and bolster that catalog, all in the name of pushing cloud, because they are pushing cloud quite aggressively now with games that you can buy that aren't on Game Pass that you can play over the cloud. So this is going to be something that's going to happen, and these games that are going over are going to bolster it.
Here's the thing that I don't think you thought of, Chaos, that with games going over, just like Forza Horizon, let's take that as an example. If the next console, when the next evolution of Game Pass launches and everything, later this year, next year, whenever, and they allow Steam integration where if you buy it on Steam, you have it on Xbox. If you buy it on Xbox, you have it on Steam, and it's seamless.
Right.
It's cross-save, cross-progression, cross-play, all of it. I think the PlayStation is going to be ass out, because even though you're going to be able to get it on PlayStation, Forza Horizon, your cars don't transfer. What if on Steam and Xbox they do? Everything that you buy when it comes to Steam and Xbox, you're still not going to have it on the PlayStation side. You're going to have to buy it all over again. And that's a problem.
You see, Phil's ultimate goal is to basically get people on other platforms to buy the games, like the games, get invested in the games, and then say, why am I going to pay $70 here when I can get it from Game Pass here? That could work if he wasn't releasing games day and date, which is looking more and more increasingly likely that that's where they're eventually going to land.
See, I'm not against for games going over to the PlayStation. Let the players play the games. But the timed exclusivity window, especially for some of the biggest franchises, Halo, Gears, Forza, it's 4 years old at this point. Halo's 10 years old? And then all of a sudden, now PlayStation players get it. But Xbox and PC have been enjoying it since day one.
No, I get that, but I like the next Halo I can see going day one. Gears E-Day I can see going day one. That's me personally. And if they do go day one, I don't see how Microsoft is trying to converge people to come to their platform. And clearly they're not. By using that strategy, they're obviously not trying to say, I want people from PlayStation or Nintendo coming over to Xbox.
Have a good one, Paul.
Have a good one, Paul. That's not their goal anymore. They've kind of said, you know what? That's done and dusted with. We lost the Xbox One era, where clearly that was, the Nexus era of gaming, where everyone set their libraries up, and that library, in my opinion, is really important because a lot of people now talk about their their back catalog. Whereas when you're looking at games that were previously, during the Xbox OG days, the PS2 days, your back catalog didn't matter. You just upgraded to the next console, and off you went. Those that most people sold their previous console and their games to fund the new console and the new games. And they did the same thing with the next generation. It's always been like that. You've gone from Mega Drive to the Sega Saturn, from the Sega Saturn to the Dreamcast. That evolution of,
I would like to also point out, with the whole GTA 6 thing being $100, presumably rumored, that why are you going to pay for games that are now going to start costing $100 when you can pay $20 on a Game Pass service and still get everything day one at quality?
Well, this is the thing. If the games go to $100, Microsoft is going to be the first in line to put their prices up. And Sony is definitely going to follow suit. But that plays towards Microsoft's whole pay $150 or $60 and get all the games they want. Why pay $200 for 2 games when you can pay less than that and get all the games on Game Pass? Right? So if the prices do go to £100, that is definitely going to play in Microsoft's favor. And if they've got half a brain, they will milk it. Because that's a golden opportunity for them to try and get more people onto Game Pass.
Oh, absolutely. Again, why are you going to pay $100 per game when you can get $20 subservice and get everything?
I don't know if the Game Pass will go up. I don't. If this is the thing. If they use their brain, it won't go up.
Yeah.
Right.
Especially if they see a surge in numbers.
If they have business sense, those prices won't go up because.
And even if it goes up, it's only going to be what, $5, $25.
No, it shouldn't go up at all. If it goes to £100 per game, that Game Pass price then looks so much more appealing to the consumer.
Absolutely.
You know, soak it up for a year, 2 years, get 10, 15, 20 million subscribers, and then knock it up by a couple of quid.
Yep, absolutely. That would be the smart business sense.
And then at that point, you go
provide the value, then provide the price hike.
You
Netflix did the same thing, and Disney Plus does the same thing. Hulu does the same thing. You provide the service, you make the service good, you make the service desirable, then you raise the prices later.
Exactly. So, you know, there are 45 million subs now, give or take, maybe 50 million with the whole PC Game Pass getting that 30% increase and COD getting their millions of subscribers. So even if, you know, give or take 45 to 50 million, add another 20, 30 million on that, increase the price by $2, you're looking at 140 million extra for doing absolutely nothing. That's half the cost of Spider-Man 2. A month.
Whoa. Navy Shadow just said that for Age of Mythology, when it goes to the PlayStation and they're getting that expansion, he's saying that he's reading, if it's correct, that the PlayStation players are going to be getting the next expansion earlier than everybody else.
I don't know. Where is he reading that?
He put it in chat. He says that there's an article about it.
This two-time legendary real-time Age of Empire Definitive Edition Age of Mythology retold are coming to PlayStation 5 in spring and March, respectively, as shared by Xbox on Tuesday. Naturally, these games will support full cross-play between Xbox, Windows PC, and PlayStation 5, with new updates arriving simultaneously across all platforms. Not sure. That says new updates arriving simultaneously across all platforms. Now I know J-Dub turned around and said that apparently Sony had marketing rights for Gears. That would be funny.
We all know what everybody thinks of J-Dub. He's about as good as J-Tech TV's gameplay of Doom.
In what regards, Silver? If you're talking to me, that is.
But no, I don't see them raising Game Pass significantly in price by any means. They might actually finally raise the price on PC Game Pass, though. I can see that too.
I'm surprised PC Game Pass is so cheap.
Game Pass PC raising the price as well.
But I don't see the price increase now. They need to get more people on.
No, what we were talking about before, how you build the service and you value the service and you make the service good and desirable, and then you raise the price later. The next time they have a price hike, I can see the PC Game Pass getting that same price hike as well. Not as significant, but still increasing $1-2.
Bags, I always said, if you open the floodgates, the rest will follow. I've never changed from that stance. What I did say was that I'd hoped that Microsoft would have some self-respect and not transfer their pillars. But they don't have any of their self-respect either. They just see the dollar signs and they want the dollar signs. Yeah, Powerboss. It says it here. With new updates arriving simultaneously across all platforms. They're doing the same thing
You're not
with
showing it
Forza
anymore?
Horizon 5. The PlayStation 5 version is launching with the new expansion that's coming to Xbox at the same time. That's all it is. I'm not showing, am I? Yeah, it's over here. With new updates coming to arrives simultaneously across all platforms. Yeah, Donald, it's a bit weird how they give PC a get out with just PC, but they don't give the console a get out with just the console. I think they should.
Is Capcom having a showcase of something right now?
Capcom right now?
Yeah. Invictus LD says that Capcom is having a showcase right now.
It starts in half an hour. It's Monster Hunter Wild.
Oh, okay.
It's Monster Hunter Wild's showcase.
Navy Shadow says that he went to the Xbox Wire and it's linked to the direct website of the Age of Empires website or Age of Mythology website, and that's where he said he read that it's
Yeah, it's just
going
probably the
early to
wording.
PlayStation.
I mean, that would be interesting. But we'll see. Steve, they're not going to be stretched because Playground didn't make Forza Horizon 5. They didn't touch the port. It was a different studio that touched the port for PlayStation 5. So they've got different studios making the ports.
Oh, you're talking about the early access Navy Shadow? Yeah, Xbox can do that too. Xbox and PC both get the same.
I really hate early access. Early access is such a scam.
Eh,
It's a scam.
it can be.
No, it is a scam.
Unless there's things that are offered with it, bonus that you can't get after the actual day of the release. But I wished it was earlier than just 5 days.
It's a scam, dude. Early access is a scam. Let's be real. Early access is a scam to get you to pay more money just so you can play the game a little bit faster. And it's an even bigger scam when it comes to Game Pass because you're no longer getting the games day and date. I am totally against early access. I think it's just another way that they're using to milk their consumers because they know people will pay for it. Which is why I'm not going to pay for the Avowed one.
The only reason why it's worth it is if you pay for Game Pass and then you pay only for an upgrade rather than the actual game outright.
That's the bigger scam. That's the bigger scam, right?
No. I have one pushback against that being a scam. Because if you buy Game Pass, you get something like Call of Duty Black Ops, and you pay for only the $30 Vault Edition upgrade, if you cancel Game Pass, you still get to keep the game. Free and clear. And you only pay $30 versus $70.
You don't get to continue playing the game.
Yeah, you do.
The Vault Edition just gives you cosmetics.
No. The Vault upgrade is considered purchasing the game outright. I know because my Game Pass lapsed.
Then they fucked up. To me. They fucked up. That's not how the early access
It's not
works.
Supposed to work that way, but if it does, then...
They fucked up. Let Microsoft know and see how quick they remove the access from you.
Well, I have my Game Pass reactivated now, but
But yeah, to me, it's bollocks.
But
Early
I
access,
noticed it with Power World.
early access should not be a thing. Early access should not be a thing.
Because I was playing Black Ops 6 with C Money and Doodle on a community stream of theirs. And then I left because I had to go do something else. My Game Pass had expired. And then a couple hours later, I was playing Power World with somebody and it gave me the error message. Same day.
Oh, that's interesting.
Well, that's what I'm saying, Steve. It does lapse 2 weeks after layover because it was giving me the messages saying to renew. But like I'm saying, it was the same day when playing Black Ops 6 and playing Power World. I went back into Black Ops 6 to test it. Black Ops 6 still launched. I don't know, maybe it's because it's part of Activision and I have BattleNet. Maybe that was the reason, because it's through COD HQ.
I don't know.
But all I know is I was still able to play it when I couldn't play
Okay,
Power World. And
look at it this way.
Black Ops 6 launched back up. And it
Look
was
at it
just
this
fine.
way. I'm gonna play Avowed through Game Pass. Am I getting it day and date? Am I gonna get to play it the same time as everyone else gets to play it?
Yes.
No, because if you pay a little bit extra, you get to play it earlier than me. That early access is the release date. I know they want to sugarcoat it, and this isn't just Xbox, by the way.
Agreed.
This isn't just Xbox. Everyone does this. Ubisoft does it. Sony does it. Every fucking company out there does it, and it's bollocks. It's just a way to extract a bit more money from you. But the only reason I'm haggling Xbox on this one is because they promote day and date, and they're saying, but if you pay it more, you get it earlier than day and date, and I think that's wrong.
Absolutely.
But they all do it. You know, Ubisoft pre-order and get 3 days early access.
You're right.
At least there, you're pre-ordering it and you're buying it. Well, I don't know. It's just, to me, I don't like early access. Just release the game and let everyone play at the same time.
But I will say that the whole thing about buying things early access, or buying the game outright after release, if you have Game Pass, the game is still cheaper regardless, and that's a plus too. Because I think I bought my Vault Edition for $23 versus the 30 that it was going for.
Yeah, you get it cheaper as well. No, I get there's discounts if you have Game Pass.
Yeah,
but what
and
I'm saying
is that's what's nice. Have you tried the Eternal Strands game, by the way?
Not yet.
It's good.
It's one of the games that I want to try. I was meaning to try it. My kid's playing it, I think, at the moment because he wanted to review it.
The dialogue is a little lackluster, almost to Dragon Age Veilguard.
I heard it's...
But the gameplay is far outstanding.
From what I've heard, Eternal Strands' dialogue story is pretty meh, but it excels in everything else in terms of...
But it's only a 12 to 20 hour game.
That's
100%
not bad.
completion.
What about just playing it naturally?
12 hours.
That's not bad. So I don't have a problem with games that are
12
short.
to 16.
I'm actually okay with games being short. Look, don't talk about Bags' favorite game, Veilguard. That guy gets really triggered when you start saying bad things about his favorite game, Dragon Age the Veilguard. Because, Dragon Age the Veilguard is his literal favorite game of all time.
I mean, that dialogue was in the toilet. The gameplay didn't seem too bad, but everything else about it...
Dude, he bought 5 copies. And a collector's edition.
Jesus.
He's got like a whole shrine in his house just for Dragon Age the Veilguard.
I can see it.
He's even got Gilganine's, posters just around.
Well, you can't even say that, John, because Phoenix Rising is still a ripoff of so many other games that came before it.
Which one?
Phoenix Rising.
I remember that. That was a Ubisoft game, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, that was a good game. I mean, that's pretty much a Breath of the Wild kind of style of game, but I think it was different enough in its own right to be good. It's a shame it didn't make enough money, and we'll never see it. I don't think we'll ever see a sequel. But this is the thing. This is the point I was making. Those games that are creative in those ways, they just don't make the money. Right? No, there isn't enough people playing them. There isn't enough interest in them, and as such, companies aren't willing to take the risks that they once used to when it came to, those weird and wacky games. You just don't see it anymore because one of those games means if it doesn't sell, your studio's gone. I don't mean to make fun.
I'm just laughing at Music72 in the chat. He's all about that Fuda.
Music76 is all he wants a bit of that Tash from Dragon Age. Don't worry, Bags knows exactly what you're talking about. He's the Dragon Age Veilguard #1 fan. Look at him, he's trying to deny it as well, like anything is better than that.
I will say Veilguard is not better than Final Fantasy VII Rebirth or any Final Fantasy game. No.
But yeah. But it'll be interesting to see what the reviews are going to be like for what is it? Avowed. I'm looking more forward to South of Midnight than I am Avowed. That game just really appeals to me. I did not get a review copy, by the way. Only Sony, Square Enix, and other companies treat me well. Xbox doesn't treat me well. But no, I didn't get a review copy. I've had a few people ask me if I'm going to review it. I didn't get a review copy, so I'm not going to be reviewing it.
I'll be right back.
No worries. But yeah. Hey Talos, don't say that, man. But you're gonna hurt Bags' feelings. That's because Microsoft know you're essential. No, that's because I don't pander to toxic positivity. I like Xbox. Xbox is my preferred platform. I'm on that way more than, I'd like to say I use my PC more, but I don't because my kids are always on it, playing whatever they're playing on there. So I'm usually relegated to the TV and the Xbox. But I've bought more games this year on my Xbox than anywhere else. But I'm going to call the bullshit out when I see it. And unfortunately, a lot of people don't like that. But I like to keep it real. If I, just like the whole early access thing. If I don't, I think it's wrong and people should speak up. I should get a code. I've given up trying with Microsoft. It took me 9 months to finally get an email response back from them after hassling them for so long, just to try and get through to the right department and the right people. And they politely told me to go away, so I'm just not gonna. I've gone away. Sony reach out to me with codes. Namco reach out. Square Enix reaches out, so it's fine. It's fine. Yeah, but Destin's a much bigger channel. He's got 120,000 subs. If I had 120,000 subs, regardless of how much I shit on them, they would reach out. Well, not that I do shit on them, but no matter what my opinions are, they would reach out and give me a code as well. It's all about channel size, audience size. They do look at smaller creators, but if you don't, in my opinion, toe the company line, they don't think. Music, I know, but look, I I will never not say that I'm an Xbox fan because I am an Xbox fan. Am I a fanboy? Probably not, but I am a Xbox fan. I have been since the OG Xbox. But I will call bullshit out when I see it because I want, in the way I see it, if I call out the bad and highlight the bad, maybe one day they'll improve on the bad and make it better for everyone else. Not that they'll listen, but that's what we have this platform for. To have a dialogue, to have a conversation, to have that, that conversation. If that offends people like it has in the past, I've had people getting very upset in my streams and sending me weird messages like I owe them something. Like I tell them and I'll tell other people, if you don't like my views and don't like what I say, that unsubscribe button is there. Take it and run with it. I will praise Xbox where they deserve praise. And I have in the past. In my eyes, true fans of any platform will call out the bad when they see it. It's the toxic positive ones that won't and just say everything is a-okay. Am I sad that Xbox has gone the way they have? Not really. At the end of the day, I'm getting games on Game Pass, so I'm happy. Whether they, and I've said this multiple times in my streams as well, right? The impact on me, and I know this has been raised to other people as well, because I have all platforms. I've got a PC, I've got a Switch, I've got a PS5, I've got a Series X and S. I've got a Steam Deck. So, for me, Microsoft's change in strategy doesn't really hit me as bad as, say, someone else who wants those exclusives so the console can thrive. But that doesn't mean I'm any less of an Xbox fan. I'm still going to buy the next Xbox, whatever incarnation it is. I'm going to buy the next Switch, right? Because I like consoles. Steve's going to buy me a 5080 graphics card, he said. You heard it here first. But there we go. Talos, I don't even know why. Fangirl? I am not a fangirl. But the correct way of looking at it is, what is changing for you as an Xbox gamer? Nothing. So, whatever. As long as the games are still coming day one to Game Pass, happy days. I don't see a problem with that. What I did find a problem with is you saw all these people capping for exclusives and all this and all that for years. And the moment Microsoft decides, hey, we're going to change because we're just not, we're going to change and pivot in a new direction because, things aren't going the way we had hoped. And then everyone jumps on that bandwagon and says, hey, this is definitely like the right approach and all this. It's almost like blindly following the leader. I think that's That's silly. They pivot. You know, the true fanboys they pivot too quickly. They follow whatever the Kool-Aid says. And well, I guess I don't have a problem with it. I just think it's silly. Oh no! Not you too, David! I had Arthur calling me that all last week when I was dying with COVID. Kira, we don't know that. I mean, I know that's what people are assuming, but I'm seeing more third parties now releasing games on Xbox despite their change in attitude than they did previously. Atelier, for example, is releasing their game for the first time ever on Xbox. That's a third party, and stuff like that never really came along. I'm seeing more smaller games coming over to Xbox now than before, where they're just porting it over to Xbox. So, I'm not sure if that's quite true. Finish Gears. Okay, let's see. Finish Gears 2 on Insane, Solo, Zero Deaths, and Halo 2. Also, no deaths, and I'll buy you when they become available in the next 4 years. Oh man, I just had the best gaming session ever, chat. I just beat Gears 2 on Insane with 0 deaths and Halo. Hey, he didn't specify where it had to be done. Right? You've all heard him, right? He didn't specify where this shit needed to be done. I just dreamt that stuff and I did it in epic style, speedrunning it in record time. You're all witness to this, right? Every single one of you in here is witness. He did not specify that I had to do it in the waking world, so I took the opportunity to do it in the dream world. Thanks, Steve. True friend. I'll send you my address. You didn't specify no achievements. You didn't. That wasn't part of the original rules. Chat, see now you know he's become a true pony when he's starting to move goalposts. That's when you know. Now you know who the true pony bot actually is. I'm seeing goalpost movements like crazy. He didn't specify that either. He said he'll send it to me. And I accepted it in real life. In the waking world. I fully accepted it. Those were the conditions. See? Ventura saw me do it off stream as well. This on screen right now, I believe, is Overwatch. It was the new character they released some time ago. I do need to update this video with the latest stuff.
Okay, I'm back. What did I miss?
Steve did not honor his agreement. I am expecting it delivered. I'm going to send him my address. Talos, that was ridiculous. Not much. We were just talking about generally me and my perspectives and my views. People were asking why I wasn't getting a review copy. And so the conversation derailed from there.
Apparently, now that they're announcing Age of Mythology, apparently they're still going on with Halo, Gears, Hellblade, and Starfield. Everything else full plate.
Yeah, I
going
think
to
it's going to
PlayStation.
go.
Yeah, but wait for the official announcements.
Oh yeah, but they're
That's the
going
stupid
to
part.
right now. The ponies are going to take their victory lap, right? Until they get bored. But I just ignore it at this point. We already know what Microsoft is doing, and at the end of the day, that's it. Microsoft has picked a path. They've picked a lane. Everyone was asking Microsoft to pick a lane. They've picked a lane, and their lane is we're going to push everything. The moment Forza 5 Horizon got announced, that was it. If there was any hope of anything being held back, that should have confirmed everything you needed to really know. Nothing is gonna stay behind anymore. Whether there's going to be timed exclusivity is another thing. But you're looking at games like Doom and stuff like that are releasing day and date. Those are huge games.
That I want to bring up. The games that are going, Ninja Gaiden, Doom, Indie, and they're getting the PS5 Pro Enhanced label. What exactly is enhanced about it? What makes the PS5 Pro the definitive way to play the game over an Xbox or a PC? Because a PC, we know, is always going to be the better option. Spider-Man 2 launched broken and buggy on somebody playing on a 4090 that it was overheating their system and crashing. He said he couldn't play for 5 minutes. So what exactly is enhanced about the PS5 Pro version? Because for all we know, the Xbox Series X is going to run that game at max capacity. It's still going to be, middle range PCs or low end PC settings. But then when it goes to PlayStation and gets the Pro, for all we know, it may only still be the Series X level.
Yeah. Doesn't COD run better on PlayStation than it does on Xbox? It has a higher frame rates, right?
It doesn't. It doesn't at all.
I saw them running side by side on, I think, Digital Foundry, and Xbox was running lower frame rate. Unlocked. Not 60. I'm talking 120. But again, what's the problem here? You're talking about a more powerful hardware that's got an AI upscaler. I expect the PS5 Pro at £700 to run better than a £400 console. Right? You expect a 4090 to outperform a 2080, would you not? So this argument that the PlayStation fans keep pushing, that it's going to be better here, it's dumb. It's like the dumbest rhetoric you can actually get. I'm paying double of what you're paying for my console. Well, dumb nut, of course you're going to expect it to run better. You're paying double what I'm paying. How stupid can you get? If I'm paying $2,000 for my graphics card, I bloody well hope it's going to run better than my £500 graphics card, no?
And that's what I'm saying. Spider-Man 2 is crashing on a 4090.
That's just drivers, though.
No,
I'm pretty sure once NVIDIA
because he downloaded a save file off of Nexus Mods that was a completed 100% save. He had 0 crashes. He went back to start a fresh game, crashed every single time within 5 minutes. He showed a video on it.
That's weird. I mean, one of my friends who has a 4090 put a video on, what is it, X, and he basically did the beginning bit with the whole Sandman thing, and it was running fine. He's not complained about it at all. I'm not saying it's
Let
not
me see
running.
if I can find the video for it.
The latest drivers on NVIDIA yesterday on my stream made my graphics card completely crap out playing Wuthering Waves. A game that should barely tickle my 3090 Ti, and it made my performance drop down to 2 frames a second. with the latest drivers. Don't underestimate how important drivers are. I had to roll back my drivers just so I could get the game to run correctly today. Wuthering Waves is not a demanding game. Tower Fantasy that I was playing yesterday kept on crashing constantly. Drivers are really important, and if they're not done correctly, they can fry your graphics card very quickly. Like, I remember a few years back, a game was running at, like, what game was it? I can't remember the game, but it released new, and it was running at like 40 frames per second. And then a few days later, they released a hotfix with the driver. And it was running at like 100 frames per second, just from the hotfix. 4090 is king at the moment. Steve, I tell you what, just you buy your 5090 and send me your 4090. But yeah, yesterday, like Wuthering Waves, it's not a demanding game, right? It's just a gacha game. It's a mobile game. And it completely tanked my graphics card. Completely tanked it. It was annoying because it was a great cut. It was a really cool cutscene as well. And it completely tanked my frames. From locked 60 down to like 2-3 frames per second. Steve is buying pictures. Oh, did you see that person that paid? Steve, I think it was you that sent it to me. Well, put it on in my Discord. Some dude paid $2,500 for a 5090 picture. He didn't see it. That's got to be rough, man. That's got to be rough.
So I've got 2 videos here that I'll share with you, Chaos.
Yeah. Where are you sending it? I see it. Oh, did you also see that guy that was really upset that his high-end gaming PC with a 1050?
Yeah, I was laughing at that.
I don't mean to... Guy was really upset that his 1060 Ti high-end gaming graphics card. Yeah, he was really upset that his high-end gaming 1060 Ti graphics card wasn't running. It wasn't running Spider-Man at 4K 60. Oh my god. Oh fuck. Sorry. That really was making me laugh. Alright, let's see what he's doing. Hey, what was that error?
That's what I was talking about. That's the error that he kept getting every like 5 to 10 minutes playing, starting from the fresh game.
Let's see. Yeah, it's a driver issue. Like I said, 56 temperature is nothing. That's fine for a graphics card. But this is caused by out-of-date drivers. Using game settings higher than your GPU can handle, an overheating GPU, current temperature is 56, which is not overheating, or an error with the game. It's just giving you all the plausible stuff that can happen. But essentially, this is a driver issue. This is just telling you that the drivers that he is using just are no good. And NVIDIA need to release new drivers. This is the only aspect of gaming where consoles really do excel over PC. You don't have this bullshit to deal with. It doesn't happen often, but when it does happen, it is annoying. But that's telling you right now that it's a driver issue.
And they've already pushed out a 1.0 patch for Spider-Man on PC too.
Mm-hmm. Oh, well, what game release is fixed? But you'd expect at least with this one, they would have been better. Nix's rushed this out. There's no denying that. Nix's clearly rushed this out, right? Nix's absolutely rushed this out because of the whole leak with Insomniac. That transformer is actually new, right? Yeah, this was the clip that my friend showed me.
But see, like I said, he was playing this on a new game,
Dudum.
had this problem, got that error, and then he said he downloaded a mod of 100% completion game, and it was running fine for hours. And then he went back to a new game, and it started happening again.
Yeah, it's just bad. I mean, there's multiple things that's wrong there. If they modded the save file, then it could be a memory leak, where the save file is constantly expanding in memory. I mean, it could be a lot of things. I'm not defending Spider-Man or Nixis. I'm just saying that 9 out of 10 is a driver issue. But he seems to be very upset. Like, really upset. But also, why is he using transformative? He shouldn't be using that. That's for the 30 series. The 40 series see no benefit from that.
He was trying different settings because he was getting the error.
Right, but transformative shouldn't be... Because what the transformative does, it basically simulates DLSS 4 on the older graphics cards. So if if you've got like a 30 series or a 20 series, and the game is supportive of DLSS, you can enable that through the new NVIDIA app, and it basically simulates a software version of DLSS 4. That's on the 50 series only. You don't get the frame reconstruction, but you get the actual software side of it, which is cool.
Yeah, see here he's showing the 100% save download, and it's running perfectly fine, no crashes whatsoever. No driver change, no updates to the graphics card, whatever, and it's just the save file was 100% completed.
Yeah, but what's happening at the beginning, especially in that massive cinematic thing, could be triggering anything. But again, it's bad optimization. It's bad, This is probably a problem with both NVIDIA and Nixis. But this just goes back to my point. Sony need to invest more in PC. Looks like Okami is being showcased here in the Monster Hunter Wild showcase. Nah, I disagree, Bags. I disagree. Once you've seen games running on a good graphics card that with full path tracing, it's hard to go back. It's really hard to go back. Like when I saw Indiana Jones running with full path tracing on a 4090, and then I went back to my 3090 Ti, and I was like, you know, it was like me and Geralt had that complete synergy where we were just like, fuck. It's sad. But then you've got like cool stuff that they do with like, you know, Cyberpunk 2077, where they actually have that photorealistic version of the game running once you've got like 974 million mods installed. If you could be bothered to do all that, it looks amazing. What's wrong with that, Bags? Driver issues will always be a problem. You know, that's always going to be something that will rear its head every once in a while. It's no different to a game coming out on console and being completely broken day one and requiring a day one patch, where the day one patch needs to fix it. That happens way more often than a driver issue on a console. How's it going, Chille?
Bags, if you think they're reducing investments into PC, then you're dead wrong.
Yeah, he's wrong. He's 100% wrong. There is no way Sony's... They're going to double down on PC. No, Sony's bending the knee. See, this is the thing with PlayStation fans, right? Did you see that Dark video? The one where he completely and utterly mocked PlayStation fans. Where he turned around...
He was almost doing Report 1-for-1.
Where he turns around and goes like... And I was watching it, and I really wanted to react to it because it was hilarious. But I was watching it, and where he turned around and said about Concord, and I was like, yeah, all those idiots out there are saying it was a learning lesson and all this and all that. They just, you know, they just can't admit that Sony screwed up. And then he said it as well, which was hilarious. It wasn't a learning lesson. They just totally screwed up. It was a total failure. There was no learning lesson there. If they learnt their lesson, they would have made it free to play. They would have put it back in development and actually went on with it. That wasn't a learning lesson. They just totally screwed up. PC is another thing for them. They are not pulling back. With PSN, they learnt that when it comes to the PC community, they can't win. But they need the PC money. So what did they do? They did exactly what Microsoft did. They bent the knee and said, okay, you win. Everyone remembers Windows Live, right? Windows Live Gaming, Windows Live, whatever it was called. Where you had to have that, and then they tried to introduce Xbox Live on PC. How did that turn out? The PC community absolutely crucified the living crap out of Xbox. And what did Microsoft do? They pulled back. But you're not going to stop investing in PC. PC right now, alongside mobile, is the fastest growing market. Sony would be absolutely stupid to pull back. And they've learned the hard way. They've learned, I guess in this case, where they're not going to do that. So anyone thinking that they're pulling out from PC is delusional. Pure and simple. One horrible port. How many bad ports do they actually have? Nah. I mean, a lot of people had already played the PC version of Spider-Man anyway. You underestimate how many people downloaded the actual files and put it all together. People compiled it. They were using the PlayStation files in order to fill in the missing gaps so they could play it on PC. People played the full game quite some time ago from start to finish. They rushed Spider-Man 2 out like there's no tomorrow, and the results are evident. But they're not pulling back from PC.
No, I disagree, Steve. I think Until Dawn was worse.
What, on PC?
Yeah, bad PC ports.
I don't know, I didn't play the PC port, I only played the PlayStation one. I mean, E-Ranks, they're getting so desperate that they're removing PS4 games off PS Plus so they can force their community to go buy them. That's how desperate they're getting. I am looking forward to Onimusha though. I hope this remake, if it's a new game or whatever, I'm hoping it's good. I like the original games. I'm not going back to play them again, but I like the original games, and I hope this new one is going to be good. Those bad graphics that you saw was on the Steam Deck though. I know, right, Paul? I mean, this is supposed to be live. Is he saying anything cool?
Onimusha, Way of the Sword.
Oh my god, it's coming to Xbox as well!
Xbox Series X, S, and Steam.
Mate, it's coming on the S as well! Oh my god!
We're currently hard at work on
Powerboss, what are we gonna do?
We'll share more information in the future.
They're releasing it on the potato too.
Information from me. We have prepared one more video for you all.
Oh, one more video.
Please take a look. Thank you so much for supporting Onimusha.
Something new?
Capcom. Ooh, remake. Remake.
The greatest swordsman of all demons.
Remastered version.
Oh wow, this year.
Capcom digital sale is on now. Check out games related to the titles introduced in this showcase. Also, don't forget to check these hit titles from last year. With Monster Hunter Wilds nearing release, Monster Hunter games are on sale now.
Trying to get that money.
Capcom titles are also now on sale. Don't miss this chance. That wraps up our Capcom Spotlight. Thank you for watching. Up next is the Monster Hunter Wilds Showcase. Stay tuned for the latest info on this upcoming title. Please enjoy.
So they had
and until next
Monster
time.
Hunter.
2.5 minutes for the Monster Hunter Wilds showcase.
Yeah. Power Stone. Such a good game, this one. But again, something like this being released today just won't sell. I don't know why these games won't sell if they remade them. They just won't. People don't want these games anymore. You know, the games we used to enjoy back in the day. I mean, I remember I used to play the living crap out of this game. I used to bring my portable PS1. I had the screen for it as well when I was in college. And we used to go to my car and plug it into the car cigarette lighter to power it up. And we just used to play it on that tiny little dinky screen. Play little tournaments and stuff in college. It was fun. It's a fun little way to spend our lunch breaks. but they just don't have the appeal anymore, and that's the problem. Even Devil May Cry. Do you think if Devil May Cry, they made a new one today, do you think it would be successful? Like, truly successful? Realistically speaking. Because I don't. Powerboss, do you? And if you're talking, you're totally muted.
No, I wasn't. I was thinking. Talk about if Devil May Cry 6 released.
Yeah, if they made a new Devil May Cry, do you think it would be super successful, selling like 10 million?
I don't think it would be super successful, but I think it would sell a couple million.
I don't think it would even get to there.
I think it would be, especially if they released it on all platforms like they've been wanting to do.
I just don't.
Because what this is saying, you know, Capcom is also releasing on Xbox. You know, given all these, if they make the next Devil May Cry and they bring it out day and date, I mean, Monster Hunter Wilds is. So I truly think that it could sell a couple million.
How old is Devil May Cry 5? Well, there goes my stream being demonetized.
Devil May Cry 5. Wait, hang on.
Hello to everyone looking forward to Monster Hunter Wilds.
6 years old.
Gozo
Yeah,
Tsuchimoto.
today's generation just
2019.
today's generation just is not interested in that.
This month on February 28th.
It's really weird that, you know, gamers today, their tastes have changed so much.
Enjoy.
They're so much more picky with what they spend their time on, because we don't have the time we used to have.
No clue, but I noticed it when setting up camp.
But, you know, I just picked up a Sleeping Dogs. I think it's called Sleeping Dogs or Watch Dogs, something like that, for £3 on Xbox, the definitive edition. Always wanted to play it. Gonna finally sit down and play it.
That way. Straight on to the end.
I know, Susanna, that's what I'm saying. The new generation just have no interest in those. It drives me nuts when I see like the games my kids are playing. I've got like everything sitting here, and I see the games that they're playing and their friends are playing, and I see the type of games they're interested in, and it's like they've got zero care for any of the AAA games at all. It's always these low entry multiplayer games or free to play games.
I mean, Devil May Cry 5 is the best selling at 8.7 million units worldwide.
Why?
So I definitely think that they pulled enough numbers to make a sixth one.
Be a reason, right?
And yet they're not doing it.
Things were different. You wouldn't have this unique perspective. But you do.
We will find
Devastator, you're joking.
Remember this. I
No, he's not. Two of the
Oh.
writers from Veilguard are now going over to work on Ghost of Yotei. If you look it up.
Is that monster absorbing its energy?
Erika Ishii, who plays the main character of Ghost of Yotei, and the director. They're both writing on it.
Rest in peace, Yote. You fucked it up, man. Like, come on. Ghost of Tsushima is one of like my favorite games. I really liked Ghost of Tsushima. Don't do that to Yote, man. Don't. You don't need to do that to Yote. Did you hear about Halo?
new frosty region known as
The heads of
White
marketing
Shirt
and
Woods.
stuff
You can
are
find a new
going from
monster,
Concord
Irabami,
to
as well
Halo.
as the familiar monsters from past titles, Ursula and Gormagala.
They hired ex-Concord people.
We've introduced
For the
many
new
of
Halo?
monsters in
Yeah.
previous trailers, but we still
No.
have more
Rip
surprises
Halo.
to come, so look forward to it. We have one more announcement for everyone.
It's like, man, you guys did a bang-up job over there at Concord. Come over here, man. Come over here.
As you can see, we're holding a second open beta test. We have some new features to share. So without further ado, let's take a look.
That is so disappointing with the Halo one. I was so upset when I heard that.
In the second open beta test, you will be able to challenge the new flagship monster, Arkveld.
Arkveld.
You will also have access to the training area in the base camp. Some online features will be available as well, including private lobbies and
Most
online
likely, Chille.
single-player mode. Private lobbies won't appear in searches, making them perfect for small groups of friends. Online single player is a mode for those who want to play without joining a lobby. You won't be able to see other players in base camp, but by using an SOS flare, you can temporarily switch to multiplayer.
I'm definitely going to be playing it.
Beta test, character creation, a story trial, and the Doshaguma hunt are included.
I enjoy the story.
This time, there are additional Gypceros
I don't enjoy the
and
endgame, though.
hunts.
I don't enjoy the
Cross-platform
endgame when it comes to
multiplayer
Monster
is
Hunter.
also available. You can even transfer your character data from the past beta test save data.
I am very honored, Paul.
Your character data will transfer to the full game, but please be aware that your game progression will not. Players who take on the open beta test will get a pendant as a bonus to decorate their weapon or sacred
They're gonna
and
destroy
an item
game.
pack in the full game. These are the dates for the second open beta test. Check the official website for more information.
Music online is because it's jump in and jump out.
Arkveld, the monster that appears on the key art of the game, will also be available. The content will be the same for both dates listed, so you can participate during whichever time is convenient for you. The Arkveld hunt in the open beta test will be a special advanced quest. This is a rather dangerous quest, so we encourage hunters who are confident in their skills to take it on. Your feedback is important to us, and we on the development team...
I think Sony has a marketing rights for this, right?
We are working hard to improve various game elements and make balance adjustments for the final release. Please be aware that these adjustments won't be reflected in the second open beta test, but they will be in the full game. Check the official website and social media.
Yeah, in
for
Japan it's
details on
massive.
improvements for the final release.
Monster Hunter
But yeah, I
Wilds
think Sony has a
offers
marketing
various
right to this
cosmetic
because
elements to add more
they reached
flair
out to me
your
if I
hunts.
wanted to
Layered armor for
jump
your
onto
hunter
this.
and Palico will be registered whenever you craft
So I'm
high-rank
guessing they've
equipment,
got marketing rights.
allowing you to customize your appearance without changing your armor's stats.
Marketing rights do a lot of things.
As you
Marketing
progress through
rights
the story,
dictate
you'll
what
also be
people
able to
see.
change your sacred's color and decorations.
People didn't even know Hogwarts Legacy was available
You
on
can
the
even
Xbox
customize your pop-up camps, such as your tent's appearance.
because of the way Sony actually
Camping chairs and
did
other
their
features.
marketing.
And even the background music for the area.
Ask for an Xbox code? Yeah. You know what? At this rate, Brick, I reckon that I've got more chance in getting an Xbox code from PlayStation than I do asking Xbox.
The Hunter profile, which has more features than ever. Customize it to your liking and really show off your
no, I did not. Actually, I'm not sure. I applied for it. I'll have to check my email. But I don't think I did.
In photo mode, you can change the camera view and depth of field. And in online single player mode, you can even...
I do know that my EA account got hacked. Yeah, I found out it got hacked yesterday last year.
Keep an eye out for that perfect
which was
shot.
weird because they didn't take my email off. Or anything else. Despite the fact I had two-factor authentication. I don't understand how they got through.
Pre-ordering the game
But I went in
will
and
give the Hunter
cleaned it
Rare
all out,
Armor,
changed the
Guild
password.
Light Set, and the Talisman Hope Charm exclusive bonuses. Players with saved data from Monster Hunter, World, and Iceborne will
You
receive
cannot
a
confirm or
code
deny anything.
and a nameplate for their Hunter profile.
You should become a pony just to get codes.
For those who
I mean,
register and get their
Sony
Capcom
give me
ID,
codes.
there will be item packs
I think the
available.
only codes they didn't give me was Lego Horizon. And that was because Lego refused it. They said my channel wasn't kiddie enough. It wasn't child friendly, so they refused to give me a code. That was the actual reason that Lego gave in terms of giving the code out. One of their requirements was, you know, the channel has to be child friendly. And apparently mine wasn't when they checked the channel out, which is fair. You know, I did drop the occasional rant and F-bomb here and there, so that, you know, that was fair. And I think the other one was Ragnarok on PC, where they had limited codes to hand out. Those were the only two. But in terms of like the PS5, they give me everything. I've got pretty much every single exclusive on PlayStation so far. There's too many games coming out in that month, man.
Players that purchase the Premium Deluxe Edition will also receive the background music, Proof of a Hero 2025 recording, layered armor, and items for your Hunter profile as premium bonuses. For those who ordered the Standard Edition, you can still purchase the Deluxe Pack and Cosmetic DLC Pack separately after the game's release. The cosmetic DLC packs are planned to go on sale in
You going to
spring
the
or summer
details?
of 2025.
Did you get an email, Chille?
Please look forward to the details in later updates. Monster Hunter Wilds available
It's definitely
from
Chille.
Friday, February 28th, 2025 on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, S, and Steam.
At least the music is truly iconic.
Starting the week following release, limited time event quests will be introduced.
I do not like
Through these
Rathalos.
quests, you can earn armor with special looks as rewards. Updates are planned following the initial release. Please look forward to more details regarding these additional contents.
Thank you for watching. The release is almost here. Until then, we invite everyone to play the second open beta test.
Well, the open beta is coming soon.
On that note, happy hunting!
Oh, I know, Brick. I try to control mine. I used to be a lot worse. Probably at 30 FPS, right? That would be my guess. That would be my guess. It's going to be locked to 30. But who knows? Who knows, right?
So, which of the devs from Concord are going to Halo?
Where was it? Let me see if I've actually got the.
Because that'll be interesting to see what they worked on Concord and whether it was a contributing factor to Concord's downfall or not, whether or not Halo is going to benefit or hinder. Because that'll be something. Because even though Concord shut down and everything, I don't want the devs to lose their jobs. But even in bad studios that get closed down, there's always a gem of talent somewhere.
Let me see if I can find it. It's the head of Concord, Director of Marketing and Operations. He did a great job in marketing Concord. It's not the dev itself, but it's the product marketing manager. The one that made the characters look the way they were. The one that was basically influential in the character designs for Concord.
If he designs characters in Halo to look like Concord, I am. I don't have the words to say what I think about that.
Yeah, but that's the person that's going over. Hey, Bags, you're gonna be there day one, right?
Well, we know Devin will.
Absolutely. No. All right. I don't get this. Someone needs to tell me what this is. Right? I don't get this. Someone please explain to me what this is. Even when I click on this link, it doesn't tell me anything. I don't understand.
Hey, how you going?
Hey, would you like to upsize to a special collab?
No thanks.
No, I'm gonna restart this. Someone explain to me what this is.
Hey, how you going?
Hey, would you like to upsize to a special collab?
No thanks.
Are you sure? It comes with a Rocket League, Valorant, Overwatch 2, Apex Legends, and a Genshin Impact.
Whatever. How much then?
Oh, no cost. They're all free to play.
Oh.
Yeah, let me put them in the bag.
Okay.
I got it. I know you want the free to play. You want that free to play? That guy's getting it.
Yeah.
All right, there you go, man. Have a nice day.
Play for free now from January 28th to February 10th on Xbox.
Hey, how you going?
Hey.
February 10th on Xbox.
Wait, so it's free to play going away on Xbox? What does this mean?
I have no
Play for
idea.
free now from January 28th to February 10th on Xbox.
I don't understand what this means. Play all these games and more during free-to-play frenzy. Yeah, but you don't need that anymore. That's changed, Chille, a long time ago. And so when you click on the link, this is what you get. I don't understand. What is it talking about? I'm so lost.
I have no clue.
E-Ranks, the marketing manager who helped design the characters for Concord is the one that's coming over to Halo. So expect, I guess, a overweight Master Chief who's had way too many pizzas to dawn your screen at some point. You know, because pizza good. knowing a game for all the bad that it's done is not a good look. Yeah, so I don't understand what this is. I don't get it. I don't get this, and no one's asking the question. What is this? Did you see how? So I'm not sure if you guys have seen this. So for Black History Month, Halo is doing, a Black History Month inspired armor sets, which I think is cool, right? And Grums came out and immediately started attacking.
You're not showing it.
God damn it. Grums immediately came out and started attacking the development team for it. Piece of shit.
What did Grums have to say?
That there's no place for this sort of thing in Halo. He's okay with cat ears and stuff like that. Stuff that makes his uwu come out. But the moment it's anything to do with a black person, that's it. There's no room for it in Halo. It's just, there is absolutely nothing wrong with this. What they need to do, right, is actually have an armor set. And Halo, if you're listening, have a Gundam themed armor set. I will buy it day one. That is all. Have a Gundam themed armor set and I will buy it. I mean, they are free to play E ranks. I don't understand what it's all about. But no one's asking what the hell this actually means. I mean, if this is their way of marketing, nothing like a free upsize. What are you upsizing though? Like, I get marketing is a cool gimmick, right? And I know firsthand for a fact that Microsoft has cut their advertising revenue. I mean, where I work currently, we used to do a ton of work for Microsoft. And, it's got to the point where we no longer work with them at all now because they cut their budget by 99% for marketing. Even when Hellblade 2 was launching, when we did the advertising for them in the UK, we almost done it for free. The amount of money that they had to spend on the budget was crazy. They got completely stripped in the UK. I still believe that when was it Brad Smith when he said we're closed for business in the UK? I actually think he meant it. I actually think he meant it. When people thought he was joking, I actually think he meant it. PC. So that's how you get good engagement on X. Just make a provocative post and they fall in line like a fucking lemmings. Oh. But yeah, Microsoft's budget has gone down the toilet when it comes to advertising. I know we were quite shocked when we had to turn around and actually tell them no, we can't actually afford to do it at the price you want us to do it in. I don't know, Bags. It's supposed to have a meaning.
Hopefully that article gives you some insight as to what it is.
Okay, let's see. Let's have a read. Free-to-play frenzy. Xbox is your ultimate destination for free-to-play entertainment. From January 28th through February the 10th, join the free-to-play frenzy and immerse yourself in thrilling worlds, epic intents, blah blah blah, to Take advantage of the fantastic discounts, special perks, offers to elevate your gaming experience. Perks and offers may. So in the store you've got offers. Wait. Genshin Impact version 5.3, you got an incandescent of, yeah, I've already done that. Fight for Natlan's Future, yeah, done all that. And Lantern Right, that's already done. Fortnite, no one cares. Valorant, I guess there's at least one person that cares around there in my living room. Exclusive packs for Xbox Game Pass members. Throne of Liberty, Crossout, War of Thunder. Wait, so Xbox Free-to-Play Frenzy is your gateway to endless adventures where you're trying new games, revisiting old favorites, or creating your own stories.
I think it's just trying to get engagement up for special things that are only happening during those dates on those free-to-play games.
Pop stars, exploring expensive mountain ranges, or flushing out enemies. Xbox is the perfect free-to-play game for you, but don't wait. The collection is only available until the 10th of February. What? I don't get it. I mean, I actually tried to go and buy some the monthly pass on Genshin Impact on Xbox. Did you know it doesn't work? You can't actually spend any money on it. I don't know if even Hoyoverse is aware, but you can't actually spend any money on Genshin Impact on the Xbox version. Poor Xbox.
Take what back, Devin?
Chille, what's up?
He's saying that there's FF7 stuff crossover in this list.
There is 0.
He said it's lower down on the list.
You sure?
Cross out Midgar 2.0 bundle.
Oh, that. Fenrir 2.0, a character portrait. Watan, a paint can. Red grid, 1,500 in-game coins, and a premium account for 21 days. So Chille's going to go now and play Crossout because he wants Midgard 2.0 bundle. I'm calling it now. Yeah, Cloud's bike is called Fenrir.
Yeah, Chille, it is.
But I still don't understand what this free-to-play frenzy is. Why is there a bundle for it? Xbox has the perfect free-to-play game for you, but don't wait. The collection is only available until February 10th. Do I think Halo? Which Halo are we talking about? The one that they're remaking? Yeah, you should totally go for Devin. 1 to 3. Honestly, at this point, does it matter if it goes day and date or not? If it's coming to Xbox, I mean, if they're remaking it, it's going to go to Xbox as well. At this point, I just don't think it matters anymore. Take it easy, Chille. Yeah, I just don't think it matters anymore. I think we'll get the collection this year. That I do think. I think we need to hear about their next generation console this summer as well. I think they need to start talking about it. I agree with Paris that they do need to talk about it. Um, but yeah, I think that's where we're at with that right now.
I definitely think that they need to start bringing stuff out about the console, handheld, or whatever they're going to showcase hardware wise sooner than later, because if they wait too long, then everything like that's been happening lately is just going to get leaked and
It
everything is
doesn't.
going to get misconstrued out of proportion anyway.
It doesn't matter. They said Phil Spared himself that the handheld is a few years away. That's 3 years, man. He said it's 3 years away. So they're not going to start talking about that for at least another 2 years. I mean, we might hear something next year, like a prototype of it, but properly.
Well, no, but they can still discuss about what they're aiming for with the handheld and what they have in operation so far.
I don't think they know themselves. I mean, if you listen to what Phil said, they're looking to make it unique. They would need to stand out from the crowd, and they're looking at ways to innovate, and the R&D team is working on it. So I don't think they actually have a set path yet to make them different. I mean, the easiest way to be different, right, is to say, hey, you know your whole digital library you have across the generations on Xbox, you can play them on your handheld. And you can play all the Game Pass games day and day on there as well. That would be a good, unique way to do it, right? Having your whole back catalog in the palm of your hand. That would be a great, unique selling point. So I'm hoping that's what they're going to do with the handheld. Probably not, but I'm hoping that's what they're going to do. But I think this summer they need to talk about the console. They just do. They need to start drumming up something. Because as you say,
I mean, even if not the summer, at least sometime this year.
I think the summer's the perfect place to do it. You know, tease it during the Xbox showcase in summer. Tease the hardware. Don't like fully show it. Tease it, and then later on down the year, actually have like an unveiling of what it is. And then at least people can get a little bit excited. Right now, in my opinion, the Xbox hype has gone flat as anything.
What about what is it, next week or the week after? They're doing the partner direct.
Isn't that the ID thing? Xbox ID. It's on the 24th.
The partner direct, yeah. Individual developers or indie developers for
Yeah, that's the
Xbox.
Xbox ID. That's going to be different, and that's just indie games, right? It's not going to be anything.
No.
AAA.
I'm just saying, do we know anything about what's coming during it, or no?
Outside of them showing a picture of Miles Morales, that's pretty much
Right.
the only hype thing about it. Otherwise, it's just going to be. I mean, I'm going to be streaming it, so anyone that wants to hang out on that day, happy days. What day does it actually fall on to? The 24th. It's a Monday, so it's gonna be sad times on my Twitch stream, unfortunately. But maybe I can do both at the same time eventually. But yeah, so I don't think that's a good place to showcase it because it's indie. There's not going to be enough eyes on it, but there's going to be a lot of eyes on the Xbox showcase in the summer, especially after last year's showcase. You know, there's high expectations for them to deliver on another showcase. So I think that's a good place for them to actually tease the hardware as a one more thing. And then, you know, sometime later in the year, they can actually start talking about it properly, maybe at the Game Awards. That would be like it's the biggest show of the year. So that would be like another great place to start talking about your hardware. But I think they do need to start talking about their next hardware. They need to start building some buzz, something excitement around the brand. They're letting it stagnate, in my opinion, and that's not good.
I will say I'm hyped for Subnautica 2, Expedition 33, Doom, and Avowed.
I really hope Avowed is going to be successful, even if that one dickhead is actually really putting a black cloud over the game. I don't think the rest, a lot of the developers don't deserve for that game to fail. So I'm hoping it succeeds for the ones that you know are normal people that are putting their hearts and souls into making a game. Because it takes years of your life to get a game working. So I hope Avowed does well. Time will tell. But what do you think about the rumors that Valve is making a console to challenge Xbox and PlayStation?
I don't know. I don't know what to make of it.
I mean, clearly they failed the first time historically. Hey, CBH. I'm seeing a lot of people saying, well, if they're coming out with their own console, why would Xbox have Steam? And I'm like, well, why wouldn't they? What difference does it make?
What if the new Steam console that they're making and the new Xbox handheld or console hardware are one and the same?
I don't think so.
They're working partner in tandem to make one singular console that encompasses both.
I think, but no. I mean, they've already said the Surface team is working on the next Xbox.
That doesn't mean that the
Device.
Surface team can't be working in conjunction with Valve.
But why would Valve do that? What have they got to gain from it?
Enter a partnership, 50-50 split. Especially if Steam is going to be side-loaded or integrated, like you're suggesting.
I mean, again, if it's just if it's just a PC, they're just going to put some components together and ship it, right? in a small factor. John, they did. I mean, it's possible. I'm not going to rule it out. It's possible, but I think they'll go their own ways. I don't think it's a case of giving them Steam. Steam is just an app, right? And if the next Xbox is just a PC anyway, at heart, you could just install it and run it. What's that, Gorsty? You think people are overhyping Doom? Do PC players want to play on a console? No. Why would they? They want to play where they can get the best performance. I mean, they'll play GTA 6 on a console. And, if games are exclusive to a console, they'll play the games then. But if they're available on PC and console, then PC players generally will go with a console. Oh, it absolutely does, CBH. I've saved a lot of money for Game Pass. Like, dude, I've saved them. Even with me buying some collector's editions and whatnot, I'm still saving so much money. It's crazy. But to me, that's why I will always be with Xbox. They will always feature in my my entourage, because as a consumer, they provide me with an enormous amount of value. It doesn't. It really doesn't bother me. Bags. Go pay $70 for it. I get it for free. See, that sort of stuff doesn't bother me. Because if I really care about performance, I'll play it on my PC. So that isn't the gotcha you're thinking it is. At least with me. I've bought a ton of games. I use Game Pass, but you know, if the game isn't on Game Pass, I'll buy it. I mean, Starfield, I bought the collector's edition, so I guess there are the odd occasion game. What is it? Indiana Jones, I bought the collector's edition. But like Visions of Mana, that's not on Game Pass. I bought that. Metaphor, I bought. Death Stranding, I bought. None of these games are on Game Pass. If it's not on Game Pass, I'll buy it. But if it is on Game Pass, why would I buy it? Especially if it's a one and done game. I mean, that's the thing, Bags. There's a lot of value in Game Pass this year. I mean, even last year I got my money's worth. Like, easy. Between, like, me, my kids, and... You know, we get our value. We doubled or tripled the value of what we pay every year. So, you know, I've got no problem with that. But this year's going to be, like, even more insane. You don't. And that's another thing. If you're happy to play, if you can actually play through cloud with the performances that are out there right now, it's becoming less and less required to have like a fully fledged gaming PC. The only thing that a native PC does is mods. You can't do that on cloud gaming. Unless the game actually has like a built-in mod system like, say, Starfield. But if you're going to like Nexus mods and downloading a mod, you can't use that on cloud gaming. That is the only drawback. Unless you're using something like Shadow, which basically gives you your own instance to run a virtual machine.
I would like to point out Bags saying that Ninja Gaiden Black 2, according to Digital Foundry, runs better on the PS5 Pro.
On the base PS5.
And the Series X, according to him.
Mm-hmm. No, he said the base PS5 runs it better than the Series X.
No, it doesn't. Basically, if you're running it on VRR 120 Hertz mode, you are gimping yourself because full combos of moves will not connect with your opponents, and it'll make your gameplay harder even on the easiest of difficulty settings because of it.
I think people misunderstand
the PS5,
what VRR
the Series
is.
X, and the Pro all make the full combos hit perfectly fine and run absolutely identical.
Make it simple. 120 FPS is good, right? I mean, I can notice the difference between 60 and 120. But I also see the performance.
Oh, no, the visuals are perfectly fine on VRR better. But what I'm saying is the gameplay itself at a fundamental level is harder because the VRR unlock mode makes things disconnect. And Bags, I'm talking directly from Digital Foundry. I just watched their video while we're here in this live call right now. So I'm not quoting anything myself. I'm not going off of specs and leaks. I'm talking exactly what Digital Foundry covered in their video.
I mean, the thing is, with VRR, you see a lot of people saying, oh, look, I've got 120 FPS. But you're not really getting 120 FPS. You're getting frame gen to get you to that 120 FPS. Frame gen sucks, by the way. It's not good. But it's still, you know, as long as you're not playing anything that's twitchy, like a Twitch shooter or something that requires, you know, super sharp latency, it's workable. But VRR is just, I don't know. On my PS5, my TV right now doesn't have VRR, right? And running God of War Ragnarok on the Pro mode, I'm running at 50 frames per second. 53 frames per second. It doesn't hit 60. Obviously, if I had VRR enabled, if my TV was VRR, then it would actually run at, you know, the 120 no problem. But what I'm saying is the native speed is less than 60 when you're running it in the Pro mode on the PS5 Pro. And you can see that when you're running it on TVs that are not VRR enabled. VRR is just basically just frame generation. And if you're happy with that, happy days. But frame generation causes latency issues.
Exactly. Frame gen is or frame time is lost because of the frame gen having to pick up the slack. So you have a lot more latency.
Simple, I agree. I mean, in a lot of cases, it's not worth it. But yeah, I'm not surprised that they would say that with Ninja Gaiden 2. It's like when you're on you know, on NVIDIA's 4090 graphics cards, I see a lot of people activating frame generation to give them like a ridiculous frame rate, 240, 300 frames. And you see the latency that they're getting on, that they're using, and it's horrible. The latency takes such a hit. And it's like some of the other stuff. Like my friend is right now using that lossless scaling on Steam. And he's gone from 30 FPS to 120 FPS. So lossless scaling through frame generation is adding in 70 to 90 frames. It's adding in, right? That it's working out and adding into the game to give him that speed. And he notices the latency. He doesn't care for it because it now means he can play his games at full speed at 120 or 60 or whatever he's happy with. And that he's happy to, you know, to lump the latency. What's crazy is if lossless scaling can do that now, why don't they just add that to the consoles and just say, hey, no game will ever have to run below 60 again. You know, the tech is there. It's mental. But yeah, VRR, when you see people showing off their screens and, oh look, I've got VRR 120 FPS, regardless of whether it's Xbox or PlayStation, it's using frame gen. And if you're playing anything that requires, you know, movement that's precision movement, precision button presses, you are going to suffer because it's just not going to register at times and you will die. And that can be annoying, especially in a game like Elden Ring, where, you know, frame dodging is everything. If you've got basically fake frames being thrown in, that's going to affect your input quite a bit. So you got to pick your battles with that one.
So just to answer Brick's question about the difference between G-Sync and VRR, G-Sync is a proprietary VRR format developed by NVIDIA that's designed to eliminate screen tearing and stuttering, and monitors are certified to meet certain performance and reliability standards. VRR technology is actually adjusting your monitor's refresh rate to match the frame rate of the game. and that's why there's the latency issues, because it's actually changing it.
Mm-hmm.
But there are also different, because you also have FreeSync as well.
FreeSync is the AMD one, right? If I'm not mistaken, it's just AMD's version of G-Sync.
It's kind of in the middle between G-Sync and VRR. FreeSync is better because you don't have the low input lag for latency issues.
And Bags,
but you will also
right.
get tearing.
Bags, you're right. Like on Indiana Jones, where it's a slower game, it doesn't matter. But on a game that requires, a lot of twitch movements, it does. So yeah, it's very game dependent.
I would like to also point out that G-Sync and FreeSync are dependent on the monitor, whereas the VRR is dependent on the software generating the frames to the content. Yeah. That's also something very important to take note. And G-Sync is allowing for lower frames to hit the G-Sync and FreeSync marks, whereas VRR, you have to be above a certain threshold before VRR will kick in.
Yeah, that's what I thought, Brick. It was FreeSync is AMD. That's what I thought. I thought I was going crazy there. Man, people are still pissed. I might have to mute this Play Anywhere post I put down. They are still tweeting at me like crazy.
Controversial issue.
I just posted it to be an ass. I expected Xbox fans to come back at me and say, "What the fuck?" And then it's the PlayStation fans coming up to me. I did not expect it. Funny all the same. But chat, is there anything else you want to discuss today before we call it a day?
Oh, Val can be pre-installed now.
Oh, it can?
Yeah. Can't wait for you to meet all these friends on February 18th. Remember to pre-install the game if you haven't already. Xbox Game Pass official.
All right.
And Aaron Greenberg tweeted out saying Game Pass members can upgrade to the $90 Premium Edition for $22, which includes the 5 days early access, 2 sets of premium bonus skins for your companions, and a digital art book and original soundtrack. Great.
Don't get me started. I already had my moment with that whole early access bollocks.
It doesn't mean that you can't put the information out there. Yes, we know where you stand on it, but still, for those who are interested,
it's fine.
For those who are interested in it, $22, 5 days early access for all that bollocks.
There you go. See, he's becoming British. Bollocks.
I mean, I got to spend a couple months over in Bristol. Not like I'm ignorant of the ways of the British culture.
But all I'll say is this. Despite whatever's going on right now within the Xbox, on X and stuff like that, as an Xbox consumer, nothing is changing for you. I know games are going to other platforms, but all that does, in reality, right, is solidify those games staying on Game Pass day and date and continuing to come to Game Pass. If you're Game Pass,
there is one thing that's changed.
What?
Due to the influx of PlayStation players, Xbox players are going to get to farm and rank up in multiplayer games easier because they don't play games that are multiplayer.
But at some point there was going to be a push and shove. I know Game Pass is sustainable. The maths is there to prove that it's sustainable, right? I think it costs like $1.5 billion to run Game Pass. But if you work out just the maths of how much they make gross from Game Pass subscriptions right now, it's roughly about 4.5 billion. So even if Game Pass cost had gone to 2 billion, they're still making 2 to 3 billion in profit. So that's just looking at that. But clearly that sum there is different to what the studios make, right? A lot of people look at the Game Pass numbers and say, right, Game Pass numbers are these, it's sustainable, happy days. But obviously, you've got id Software, you've got Machine Games, and all of these companies have their profit and loss, where they need to sell the games in order to make the revenue back. And that's where, if they're not getting the revenue from PC gamers and Xbox gamers, then you start to see closures. So in order to prevent that from happening, if it means pushing those games out to PlayStation and Nintendo Switch, regardless of how people feel about it, they're gonna do it, and it's a done deal. If it means those games stay day and day on my Game Pass, at this point, I just don't care.
Oh, I got a question, Chaos. Did you comment and see from the Microsoft earnings report that pie chart that was being passed around by all the ponies?
The 65% one?
I think so, where it's like,
the Call
this
of
is
Duty.
PlayStation, and then this is Xbox and PC.
For Call of Duty,
sales.
Right?
No, just money that's spent on Microsoft games. On which platform?
No, I think that was specific to Call of Duty.
No, it was just all Microsoft games on all three platforms. It was something like 68% or 66% on PlayStation.
No, 64%.
Where it was like 34% on Xbox plus PC.
Yeah.
It was talking about all Microsoft games purchased on which platform. I just like to point out that, of course, they're going to sell better on the PlayStation, because the only way on PlayStation that you can get them is full price. Whereas if you have Xbox, if you have Game Pass, you get to buy the full game cheaper.
Well, here's the thing. There's two ways of looking at this. So number one, Xbox has Game Pass, and that's gonna, if people are playing it on Game Pass, they're unlikely to buy it, right? So we're looking at that. It doesn't matter if they buy microtransactions or anything like that. That doesn't go into the sell price of the game. So that's going away. And these
right,
these digital upgrades that they do, so like what they're doing now with Avowed, where you can get it 5 days early, that doesn't count towards the purchase price either. You need to actually buy the game. So all of that money that's been spent extra doesn't factor into that, what you're looking at over there in that 65% going to PlayStation. Secondly, when it comes to PC gamers, I think they've got like 13 million, 14 million now Game Pass PC subscribers. They're obviously going to be playing it on PC. One thing I've learned from PC, and it's really rare that you're going to see them flocking out and paying $70 for a game like Baldur's Gate 3, right? If a game is at $20-$30, they'll dive into that straight away. But at $70, they're more inclined to wait for a sale because there's so many games to play. So I don't.
That was my other thing, yes. Because an Xbox game that's sold on PlayStation can sell for $100, and they can sell 1 million copies. They make $100 million. But if you combine PC and Xbox, but the game is only selling for $20, then they can buy 5 times the amount and still barely reach the PlayStation numbers, because Xbox and PC are getting it on sale at cheaper, but more people are actually purchasing it. That's why the MAUs are more important than the actual purchase of the games.
And so, PC gamers in general don't, in my opinion, don't spend as much as console gamers. It's really rare that you're going to get a game like, the blowout that you had with, say, Power World or Black Myth Wukong or, Baldur's Gate 3, Helldivers 2.
I was going to even throw Helldivers 2 into that mix.
Yeah, it's a handful of games in the past, 20 years that have had, like, true blowout successes.
Yeah, pretty much.
So it's not every day that you're going to see that. Additionally, when you're looking at PC gaming, I know they say they've got like the whole 180 million PC players. You know, my kids use Steam on one of our old laptops that we have where they can play like Roblox and stuff and whatnot. And he got a survey for his Intel onboard graphics card chip, right? And that all factors in, because it's got Steam on there, it factors into that overall. It's pushing the standard down, is what I'm saying. So the actual true gaming PCs from that 180 million is probably somewhere closer to maybe like 60, 70 million. There's a lot of bad PCs out there that are running Steam. Well, I wouldn't say bad, but, low spec. That can't run these games. If I'm not
mistaken, there was an article that Steam published not too long ago, I guess, that was talking about like what monitors PC users are actually running. Mm-hmm. But what they don't tell you is that most people are running 2, 3, if they're gaming enthusiasts, probably are, like me. I have 3 monitors. And it's registering all those monitors individually, but only one of them may be a 4K monitor or 2K monitor, and the others are probably 1080p.
Yeah, I've got a 2K
taking all of those into account.
Yeah, I've got a 2K monitor and a 3K monitor.
Exactly.
But
Still
it waters down.
3K fucking works.
It waters down. Just look at how the reviews go. You'll get like 7s, 8s, 9s, and then you'll have 4 people putting like 1 and 2s down because, look at Hogwarts Legacy. Kotaku gave it a 1 because of J.K. Rowling. But that 1 is going to have such a massive impact on the overall Metacritic score. It's going to cripple it. And so those lower spec PCs drag the overall, results down. So I think there's probably around, give or take, maybe 80 million, 60 million proper gaming PCs out there. And when it comes to the Xbox games, if it's on Game Pass, people aren't going to buy it. Why would they? Like, realistically, why would you buy it? If it ain't for a collector's edition, I wouldn't have bought Indiana Jones. I mean, I love the game. I gave it 9.7 on my review. But I wouldn't have bought it if it wasn't for the collector's edition. I don't need to. It's a one and done game. I'm not going to go back to it. I've done everything 100%. There's no reason for me to go back to that game. Even life, there's just no reason. Game Pass has established that. And unless a game isn't on Game Pass, which I will then buy, and I buy loads of games.
Bags, unless it's a competitive style game, there's no need for a single player game to have early access. I agree with Chaos on that one.
A single player game should never have early access.
Agreed.
I mean, I think no game should have early access.
Beating it and moving on. And it's very, very to do it on a game that actually has a competitive aspect to it. Because then you're getting a jump start on everybody else's.
And my point is this, right, Telos? If I'm not going to get a physical version of the game, and I'm going to buy a digital version of the game, what's the difference between me playing it on Game Pass and owning the digital copy? What's the difference? There is zero difference. So why would I spend $70 on a game when I can just play it for my $15 a month? And that's the point. That's where Microsoft, if they wanted to convert, get those conversions, they need to provide me with enough reason to be able to make that conversion. But at the moment, if both are digital, one is rented via my monthly subscription, the other one is just going to sit there for all eternity doing absolutely nothing because I can't trade it in, what's the point? Now, if it's physical, that's different. But as a digital product that has no resale value, why would I go and buy a digital game that's already available on Game Pass? Even on PC, right now, if a game is available as Play Anywhere, right, I won't buy it on Steam. I'll buy it on Xbox Store or on the Xbox, because then I can play it on my Xbox and my PC and have my cross save. Play Anywhere is a really big thing for me. Like, I know it's a niche case requirement, but that's a big thing. But if the game is available on Game Pass, right, I'm gonna play it through the Xbox Store. It's on Game Pass. Why would I pay for Steam? I don't give a shit about Steam or Epic Games or, you know, the Xbox, whatever. I've got no, like, I'm not like these PC gamers where, oh my god, if it's not on Steam, Satan is gonna come and burn my soul if I use Epic Game Store. No, I'm not one of these. I'm not one of those people. It's just a fucking launcher. You download it. It's 2 megabytes. Done. People are way too crazy about a launcher. I get the console wars because there's like lots of money involved, but when you're talking about a 2 megabyte download, at that point I have no sympathy or understanding for you. So for me,
I don't even want to hear about Reforged, because that stupid restart was touting all about the Xbox Dev Direct and bought Ninja Gaiden 2 Black for the PS5 because it had a pro enhancement. He played that thing for 10 minutes, killed 8 enemies, and got filtered by the camera. I don't even want to hear it from that restart.
Wait, what was the pro enhancement though?
We still don't know.
Because you remember in the PS4 days, right? With the PS4 Pro, they would like tweak the resolution ever slightly higher, and that's pro enhanced. A lot of companies just bumped the resolution up a little bit, and it was pro enhanced. That's all you have to do. You don't have to actually do anything. You just have to utilize the pro features. And so tweaking the resolution.
And that's what I'm saying. When it comes to Ninja Gaiden 2 Black specifically, unless you're using VRR, the game is identical across all platforms. And the VRR, while it's somewhat better on the PS5 Pro because of whatever the enhancements are, like I mentioned before, by turning on VRR, you're also getting the input latency, which makes your game needlessly harder, especially in a game that's timing based, like Ninja Gaiden Black 2. But other than that, the game is identical across all platforms.
All right, here's a question for people, right? And here's a question. If there's any ponies in the chat, this is especially for you. And I want you to be absolutely honest with me. Right? Regardless of whether you're on PS Plus, Extras, or Essentials, I want you to be honest now. Have you ever downloaded a game and played it? From start to finish?
I have.
You're not a pony. You're just publicly admitting you're a pony.
I haven't had PS Plus since Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
You can't say that anymore.
Lapse.
You just admitted to being a pony. Publicly on my stream. I'm going to have to edit that out.
It. Hey, I make no fact to hide that I have a PlayStation and I've got a PlayStation account and I've played PlayStation games and I enjoy PlayStation games.
Wait, is there literally no ponies in the chat today? Wait, Bags, you're a pony. Have you ever done it? Seriously? Not one? We actually have a pony-free chat today?
Well, Chille left.
Exactly, so we've got a pony-free chat. So wait, no one...
Shut it, Devastator.
No one that's a pony has actually done that. I know, Devastator, I know. Have you ever downloaded a game on PS Plus, Extras, or Premium, whichever subscription model you're on, played a game and finished it and uninstalled it?
Well, Leaf Storm Blaze says he did when he was younger. I
He's not a
mean,
pony.
what time frame are you talking about?
Just, I don't know, in the last
Ever?
5 years.
Well, it started in what, the PS3 generation when they started that?
I think they pretty much started on the PS4 generation. You have, right, Bags? So at that point, what is the difference between what you're doing and what we're doing? This isn't targeted at you per se, right? Because you've never had a problem with Game Pass, at least not from what I've seen. But all these people that have a problem with Game Pass and people playing the games through Game Pass, but at the same time, they're playing their games through Plus, Premium, and Extras, even though Premium is pretty much a scam in itself. But, you know, they're playing those games without paying for it. So what's the difference? I didn't say you hate Game Pass.
Yes, I sent you a video.
I didn't say you hate Game Pass. I said you've never had a problem with Game Pass. See, I think, Devil, that in the next Xbox iteration, they are going to get rid of Xbox Live Gold. And where is it? There was something that I had here. Let me show you, which is what I think is going to happen. At some point, I'm going to find it. It's in one of the... Right, this is what it is. So, I think what's going to happen, right?
You're not showing it?
I am.
Oh, there you go.
You're going to have Ultimate, which is going to be the highest tier. And then you're going to have Standard. I think Core's just going to disappear entirely when the next Xbox comes out. Core's going to disappear entirely because I just don't think it should exist. And I think as they move to a kind of PC setup, there'll be no reason for Xbox Live. So I think when the next Xbox does land, all you're going to have is the standard model of Game Pass. You're going to have PC and Ultimate. And that will be the 3 tiers. But if you're on console, the tiers that you're going to have is standard and ultimate. So you'll have like the 2-tier system in Netflix where you've got 1080p, 4K. And I think that's the way they're going to go. That's what makes sense to me looking at it from the outside. So that's where the transition... Because if they're going to a full PC, they can't charge you for Xbox. They can't charge you for online. If they're basically selling you a PC, that's the end of online. I mean, that makes a little more sense, Bags, yeah. Like, this whole structure is going to change, but this thing... I mean, you never know. Like, you've got Standard here, which I think is about £10 in the UK. PC Game Pass, I think, is £13. And then Ultimate is £15. Or is PC Game Pass the same as Standard? Something like that. I don't know the full pricing. But... you're going to have that kind of pricing structure, and I think Core...
I think PC is like 12 or 15 bucks.
For you guys, right? It's cheaper in the UK. Like, for you guys pay $20 for Ultimate, right?
Yep.
We pay like $14.99.
Right.
But I think Core is going to just disappear when the new Xbox gets released. And this is what they're doing now, is that right now it's a really rocky stage for Xbox. Because this transition period that they're going from where they were as a predominant console only to being basically now agnostic in terms of platform and changing everything, that takes time. And that transition is going to be rough and rocky. But ultimately, as an Xbox gamer, it'll end up being better for you. That's my personal opinion.
Who wants a nice palate cleanser?
You sent me something.
A very humorous video that you should play. It's been making the rounds. I've been sharing it out everywhere I can. It's a great video. It's funny. Everybody will laugh.
All right, let's check it out.
Except for 3 people, I think.
All right, let's
Dreams
stop
come
this.
true.
Let's watch this, and we will end the stream after this because I am getting tired. Work is absolutely kicking my ass. I've been doing, even through COVID, I was doing 50, 60-hour weeks at work. It's been painful.
In a world where gaming dreams come true, one console stands above the rest. Step into the shoes of the ultimate salesperson and sell the world's best console. Every choice matters. Every pitch counts. Can you close the deal and sell the ultimate gaming console? Maintain stock. Master the art of persuasion and deliver the ultimate PlayStation 5 experience. Rise through the ranks, transform your store, and leave your mark on the world of console sales. We integrated Twitter into the game, so when the store slows down, take a break and tweet out to the world how many console sales the PS5 has. Not every customer is easy. Some will test your patience, but in the end, every sale is worth it. Deliver the dream and feel the thrill of success. Go head-to-head with friends and prove who's the true sales legend. From the studio that bought you PlayStation's most played game, Twitter. Console sales coming September 2025, only on PlayStation 5. Rated P for Pony.
Please tell me this is real. Tell me this is real.
No, it's not real.
Oh,
It's
it needs to be
fan-made, but
real.
It was funny as
That
hell.
was great. I like that ending bit. That bit was just that's just that's so good.
Friends, and prove who's the true sales legend. From the studio that bought you PlayStation's most played game, Twitter. Console sales coming September 2025, only on PlayStation 5. Rated P for Pony.
Do you know what? That is good. That is good. I'm going to give you a thumbs up and you'll get my sub for that. That was good. That's some of the comments. This video gets some traction. Keep up the good work.
I'll put the link in the chat for anybody who wants to go and subscribe to AI Arcadia.
Good video. Keep up. But yeah.
Yeah, I was on demo show Friday, and AI Arcadia was in the chat and sent the link to demo for us to watch. It was hilarious. It's still funny every time you watch it. I don't care who it is. It's such a dig at all PlayStation fanboys.
But yeah, you know, I think as long as people accept now where Xbox is going, you're going to get those games regardless on Game Pass. And if it means games going to other platforms, regardless of how we feel about it, it means that you're going to get those games continued on Game Pass, and I think that's worth it. And I'm buying the next Xbox anyway, so whatevs. Oh no, Devastator, what's up? I was about to call it a day. What are you doing? What is this?
It's from Devastator. Is it a Harmon video?
It's not a Harmon video. It looks like a acid trip. What is this? I told you it looked like an acid trip. I can see it from the thumbnail. Devastating. What are you watching?
That's what I want to know.
This is what
What's
is
your
this?
tongue tarnished?
What is this Devastator, man? I don't know. It's just like this is like the most weirdest thing you're gonna send me to show. Like this is literally the randomest thing I've seen today.
Apparently, it's something that Brick watches.
Oh, you do, Brick? It's an outro. Well, I guess it's got a pony in there, so I guess that makes it okay. But look, now you're gonna get me. You're gonna get them all coming at me because it's got pink rainbows. What have you done to me? That's just not cool, man. Steve would absolutely love that. How they celebrate console sales. It's called Bureaucrat to Villainous. Well, chat, that is all she wrote for today. We're going to be back on Thursday with Chille. Thanks, Powerboss, for joining me today. It's been fun.
Absolutely.
If you haven't checked out my
Anytime.
Indiana Jones video or review, do go check it out. Put a lot of work into that, and I think it came out quite well. So hopefully you'll enjoy it. But otherwise, Power, do you want to tag yourself while you're at it before we?
Nah, I'm good.
You're good. Hey, thanks so much
You
for
know me,
everyone.
I'm still trying
out.
to get my streaming stuff back up and running.
Still
haven't done it yet. Yeah, the hard drive still isn't connected. My brother's gonna help me fix it though.
Cool.
4 terabyte going to waste in there.
Yeah, that sounds rough. But
Well,
hey,
I got a 1 terabyte SSD, but that's a 4 terabyte HDD.
Right. Good first stream back, I think. I'm happy I managed to get through, I think, like, 3 hours or something, which is almost 4 hours. So I actually planned on streaming for 2 hours today because it was my first time back. Didn't want to over push it.
Bye, everybody.
But bye.